I got $2 billion worth of real estate. I'm going to 10. Hey, welcome. I still got music going on. Welcome to the Real Estate 2025 training. Man, I'm so excited to be with you here today. Over 48,000 people registered for this event with only 10 days that we put it out on the internet. My name's Grant Cardone. If you don't know who I am, it's great to be with you. We do a couple of these years where we take the real estate market and what's going on in it right now and show you for free, by the way. I'll spend 90 minutes today doing this, so count me down. I got about 90 minutes. If you could just pay attention for the next 90 minutes, I'm gonna show you how to find millions of dollars of opportunities in your marketplace. And literally you could do it at 90 minutes in 90 days, okay? In 90 days, I literally will guarantee you, I will open your eyes to the possibility of you buying real estate in your market. It could be multifamily, hotels, it could be industrial, it could be warehouses, it could be office buildings. I'm gonna show you the best asset class. I'm gonna show you where the best opportunities are. I'll show you how to find the deal, fund the deal, how to raise money for the deal, how to manage it, and how to sell it and make a profit, okay? Now, I look for deals, and I would strongly suggest you to look for deals in your market. If you're taking notes, I always keep a legal pad with me to take notes. Start in your market. Don't start in somebody else's market. It's easiest to learn the game where you're already familiar. And number two, we're looking for a deal. We're gonna look for deals. I'm gonna show you deals in 90 minutes. I'm gonna show you deals that will make you at least $1 million. I know that sounds too good to be true, but look, anybody can find a deal that'll make you $5 grand or $6 grand or 10 grand, or you could flip a deal and pick up $3,000 or $4,000. That is so easy to do, it's unbelievable. What I wanna do is show you how to find a deal that makes you and your partners at least $1 million. Now, I didn't know this until I was 31, 32 years old. It takes the same amount of effort to find a deal that'll make you $3 or $4 grand as it takes to find a deal that'll make you $1 million, $5 million, or $10 million. If you don't have credit and you don't have money, do not let those two things dissuade you from doing this, because I'm going to show you how to buy deals with no money and even bad credit. There's a specific real estate class out there that'll do that for you, an asset class where you can actually buy and they won't judge you for your credit or for your income, okay? So, get a legal pad. Jared Glantz with me, by the way. Jared works with me at our educational company. He's the president of Cardone Training Technologies. He's the one that has me doing this for you today, okay? We do some other stuff in the educational space for real estate where we have a club that people join with us. Maybe that'll be something you do with us in the future. We also mentor people on their way up to learning about real estate, how to find it, how to fund it, how to actually get it, how to crowdfund it, how to raise money for it, where to go to get debt, how to underwrite a deal. All these things I'm going to try to cover as much as possible in 87 minutes from right now. Let me see, Jared, what else do I want to say here?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening right now that is reinforcing and supporting real estate. I've been investing in real estate alongside Grant for 13 years now. And man, I tell you, getting checks every month is the best type of investment you could get. And you're not throwing it up against the wall into some market where tariffs and presidents and all these external things can affect you. The market's had
what's going on right now?
Crazy week. And you know what? I talked to Grant yesterday. I said, man, isn't it nice to be a real estate investor?
Dude, $6 trillion has been wiped out in the U.S. stock market. Not China, not India, not Australia, not Europe, just the United States of America. That's $6 trillion has been wiped out in 2 days, okay? Most of it, by the way, was lost in the last 10 minutes of trading on Thursday and Friday. $6 trillion wiped out in 20 minutes. And this is why I love real estate so much, because that can never happen in real estate. If you're taking notes, okay, there's a concept called liquidity. Liquidity is, and this is what Wall Street and the banks always say, you want liquidity. Real estate is not liquid. Okay, it is not a liquid asset, meaning I can't easily get out of it. Bitcoin is very liquid. Gold, not so liquid, okay? Why is gold not so liquid? Because if you had a bunch of gold, let's say you had $1 million of gold, you actually have to get it authenticated. You have to get it authenticated. I couldn't come up with that word. You'd have to get it authenticated, which would take maybe, I don't know, a week to 10 days if you had $1 million worth of gold. Somebody's got to check it, somebody's got to stamp it, somebody's got to test it, etc. Stocks and cash, okay, stocks, cash, Bitcoin, extremely liquid, okay? Bitcoin's probably the most liquid of all of them, by the way. You can liquidate 24/7, 365. Now, why that is told to you that is good, but the truth is when something is liquid and it goes down, people get scared and they sell. See, with real estate, it's a non-liquid asset, meaning if I buy the right piece of real estate and something stupid happens in the market, I'm going to show you something that's going on right now that you could take advantage of. Something stupid happens in the marketplace. You can't easily take a $10 million piece of real estate or even $1 million and say, I want to sell this right now. Like, okay, you want to sell it right now? How do you even get the message out? It's a piece of land, or it's a warehouse, or it's an apartment building, or it's a house. Somebody's going to want to come look at it. They're going to decide, hey, do I like the kitchen, or do I like the location, or can I get a loan on it? It's very complicated. Now, why do I like that? Because if you look at real estate over long periods of time, real estate has actually outperformed every asset class, every single asset class. Many of you stock guys will disagree with me on this, but the reality is, real estate not only has lasted longer, but outperformed, is a safer investment than every real estate, every other asset class in the world.
And it's also created more millionaires than any other asset class.
Yeah, now I don't know if that, I know this. I was just at a Horatio Alger's award ceremony last night in D.C. And I was in D.C. I haven't been to D.C. a whole bunch of times. The amount of real estate in that market, did you get all those videos I sent you from D.C.? There was some great ones.
Yeah. I sent them all to the team.
I'm walking through, there's a Westin, there's a Ritz, there was the Fairmont, there was a Hilton, high-end Hilton, a Hyatt. Man, I'm like, how old are these buildings? Some of these buildings were 70 and 80 years old. They look brand new, pristine. They brought them back to life. They cleaned them up. They've been there for 70 years. 70 years, boom, printing money every night. $80. Well, it used to be $40 a night. Then it went to $80 a night. Then it went to $180 a night. My hotel room was at $2,100 a night for a little tiny hotel because the place was sold out. Okay? Real estate is probably for thousands of years, by the way. Now, when you compare it to a Facebook or a Netflix or a NVIDIA or a Google or an Apple, these are very young companies, by the way. Tesla's only been around, what, 20 years?
Yeah.
Very young companies, okay? Did you know the average company on the S&P 500, that's the entire life cycle of the average company on the S&P 500, if you took all the companies. Now, if I added all the private companies in America, we're just talking about America, not Canada, not Europe, okay? Not Mexico. The failure rate will go up like crazy. The average company in America is less than 7 years. How old do you think the average building in America is? The average multifamily, single-family home, hotel, you name it. Just go through the list. Hotel, like name industrial, warehouses, office buildings. You're talking about 5x. And it's going to be here another 75 years from now and 75 years after that. The Vatican, the famous building in the Vatican, what is that called?
The Sistine, the Sistine Chapel is the church that's
how old is that? Look it up.
I mean, it's...
And the Vatican, by the way, we're talking about real estate today and why I love real estate so much. And we're going to show you how to find it, how to fund it, how to buy it, how to raise money for it, how to get a loan for it. We're going to show you how to increase the value of it by at least $1 million.
Dates back to the 4th century.
Okay, good. So like we're talking about 1,600 years. The Sistine Chapel has been there. 1,600 years. There is no company in the world that has been around that long. And the Sistine Chapel is worth more money today. Keep in mind the Roman Catholic Church, I guess the Catholic Church, owns more real estate. They're the #1 property owner on planet Earth. Okay, so let's get started. The real estate opportunity that exists for you guys right now is, I have never seen this. It is mind-boggling to me that we are in the biggest, I just told Jared, tell him what I told you right before I was going to the restroom about, man, I wish I could.
Oh, he's like, I wish I could go after and start buying like all these 30 and 40 and 50 unit deals right now, because these people are getting crushed.
Yeah.
But because of the type of assets he buys, it's hard to scale that at his level.
Yeah, and I said, man, if I was 30 years old right now, I would be out hunting down 16 units, 18 units, 30 units, 32 units. The opportunity right now is massive. So let's just talk about why now. Why is there a real estate opportunity right now? Number one, okay, we just had a stock market crash. Guess where this money wants to go today? I have people calling me Thursday and Friday, a guy that's got millions and millions of dollars in 401ks, IRAs. And if you've ever listened to one of these, or if you attended any of my trainings, we did one a year ago. And I said, guys, if you're in 401ks, IRAs, I was early. If you're in any of these Roths, sell out. Pay your little penalty, get your money, pay your gains, whatever it is.
What's the penalty?
Well, there's no penalty. I mean, you would just leave the money. You would just leave the money in your IRA. If you leave it in the IRA, you would have just sold your Apple stock. But anyway, a bunch of people got crushed here in the last 2
Well,
days.
yeah, that's what I'm saying is if the penalty's what, like 10% or 20%?
Well,
or
if you
gotta
pulled
pay
it
tax.
out, if you pulled it out, you would pay the gains.
Yeah.
And you would pay a penalty for coming out early.
Yeah, so, but in this example, in the last 2 days, the market's off, what, 20%?
There's $38 trillion in 401ks, IRAs, and Roths, just in America. That's just America. That's not counting Europe or Australia, okay? $38 trillion. Look it up. I think that number's right. The total value, okay? This is about equal, by the way, to the amount of real estate in America. That residential, office, okay?
Let's see.
So first of all, we had a stock market crash in the last
35 trillion.
35 trillion, yeah, this is 35 trillion. Slightly more, there's $12 trillion of equity, home equity in America, 35 trillion in 401ks. Why do you want to know that? You're like, I don't have a 401k. What's that got to do with me? Because you could be going to your brother, uncle, aunt, mom, dad, and getting this money out. People are 72 years old. They can actually pull out without a penalty, or they can do what's called self-direct. I'll be talking about that later today, and actually fund your deals. Now look, everything that I'm gonna share with you today, I have done. I'm not telling you anything that I heard about or read about. I'm telling you only what I've done successfully, and I'm gonna transfer that skill to you. Why am I doing that on a Saturday? Because this is exactly what I wanted people to do for me. Show me the game, bro. Just show me the game. I'm an educator at heart. I love helping people. I wanted help when I was a kid, so I'm here to help you guys. If you guys want to invest in real estate today, just put a big 10X in the chat. If you're committed to finding your first deal this year or your second deal, and you want to really learn this information and you're committed, put a 10X in the chat, because I'm going to show you the game. And then if I run into you wherever you are today, I run into you 3 months from now or 6 months from now or 9 months from now, and you did your first deal, make sure you give me a big 10X when you're shouting out. Also, while you're in the chat, what city are you in right now? What city are you in right now, and where are you going to start focusing your attention? Atlanta, Idaho Falls, Reno, Denver, Miami, Houston. All these are great markets, by the way. Georgetown, Texas, let's see. Houston,
Sarasota, Laguna Hills.
Laguna, Mulberry, Naples.
Salt Lake.
These are fantastic. I have not seen a bad market, nor have I seen a market that's not in correction. Miami, absolutely going to be some great deals right here in Miami. Carmel, Indiana, the entire what is that called? The Rust Belt.
Yeah.
That entire Rust Belt is for sale right now, folks. From Chicago, Indianapolis. What's right next to Indianapolis? Columbus, Ohio. That whole marketplace right there. East and west and south. Washington, D.C. Big correction going on in
Texas.
DC. Austin, Texas. Major correction happening in Austin right now.
Detroit.
Detroit. Unbelievable opportunity in Detroit, okay? Syracuse, New York. Anything in New York City New Jersey, folks, like I'm literally wanting to come back to New York, New Jersey, and Chicago and buy real estate, and I've left those markets alone for years, okay? So why? Why now, okay? Because you have a stock market correction. $6 trillion, folks. Let me see, $6 trillion is basically 369 divided by 1 million. I can't do it. My damn machine's broken.
6
I think it's 6,000 billion.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided by a million?
Yeah, divided by a million. I think it's 6,000. It'd be 6,000 billions.
No.
6 billion. No, millions or billions?
Billions.
Okay.
It'd be 6,000 billion. Anyway, it's a lot, okay? Look, there's only 3,000 billionaires on planet Earth. A third of them live in America.
It's 1,000 billion. It's 1,000 billions.
It's 1,000. No,
1,006 billions.
Yeah, it's 6,000
One.
billions.
Yeah.
Is what that number is. That was lost Friday, Thursday and Friday. Now, you're like, okay, what does that have to do with me? The money's going to go some other place. These people are liquidating. They're pulling out of the market right now. And they want this money to go some other place. They're not going to just sit on it, okay? So number one, we have a stock market crash. I did not have this the last time we were doing this. Two, you have the Trump effect. The Trump, if you're taking notes, write this down. Trump is a real estate guy at heart. If you're a real estate person, then you're glad he won, okay? The tariffs, by the way, are going to come into play on real estate as well. I'll talk about that in a second. Number three, the tax benefits from real estate are like no other in the world. When you buy a $1 million piece of property, the right kind of property, we are not talking about single family homes, by the way. So every time you hear me talk about real estate today, exclude the concept of single family. There will be no correction in single family homes. It's the top camp. This is the right one to look at, right?
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah. Top
Okay.
one.
There will be no major correction in single family homes. No major correction in anything with one door. I'm going to show you how to make a lot more money with a lot less work, okay, and actually scale a portfolio and create generational wealth for yourself and your family. And that includes whether you have money or don't have money, and whether you have credit or don't have credit, or whether you even have bad credit. I'm going to show you how to get funding on a deal even if you have bad credit. Now, the tax benefits on this deal, I could write off today, and this might go up. I could buy, let's say I pretend I had $1 million. I could buy a $1 million asset. I don't have to put any money in it. And I go to Jared and I say, Jared, I need $1 million for this asset. And when I buy this asset, I'm going to give you a $400,000 loss. Let's say Jared earns $1 million a year, okay, from his other activities. He's a professional real estate investor, and I went and found a deal for him. And I'm like, this deal's $1 million. Give me $1 million. I'm going to give you a $400,000 loss. And you're going to make $60,000 a year on your money, better than a bank. You're out of the stock market. You're going to make 60 grand a year. That's not taxed. The 60,000 is not taxed. The 400 grand is a write-off of his other income. So when he pays taxes next year, he doesn't pay taxes on 1 million. He pays taxes on 600,000. And he bought a piece of real estate that pays him every month, okay? There is no stock that does that. There's no stock, no investment, no 401k, no IRA that gives him a $400,000 reduction when he purchases the property. Check this out, another tax benefit. Let's say I take this piece of property and I sell it for $4 million, okay? This is called a 1031 exchange. It does not exist for stocks. He could literally make $3 million of profit, move it into a new asset. Move it into a new asset. Move it into a new asset, sell it for $3 million, and literally not pay any taxes on that. Here's another little trick. He could take a $1 million asset that we sold him. He made $400,000 right here. Remember that? On a tax depreciation. He also made $60,000 a year. For 10 years, he made $600,000, in cash flow. He still owns the asset, by the way. So he has his money back. Depreciation plus the cash flow. This is cash flow. This is D. He has his money back. He has no money invested in the deal now. He sells the asset for $4 million. We trade it into a 1031, okay? The 1031 is a like-kind exchange, and he pays 0 taxes on this. That's the third victory. Or he could take this thing, trade it into a 1031, the $4 million goes in it. The fourth thing he could do is borrow now against the $4 million, get a loan on it for $3 million. The cash, because he doesn't owe anything, I would give Jared $3 million in cash, and guess what the taxes are on that? 0. Okay? I would literally write him a check for $3 million. He's got his $1 million back. He got $400,000 in depreciation, $600,000 in cash flow. We traded it into another deal. We got a bigger, better deal that's worth $4 million. We bought a $4 million deal basically with no money. We paid no taxes on the new deal. And then once we got it into this structure, I didn't know any of this when I was 30 years old. Once we got it into this structure, I said, Jared, let's go get a loan on this for $3 million. What are we going to do with the $3 million? I'm going to give it to you. And he pays no taxes on that as well. This is sick. 400 grand, 600 grand. He's got $4 million and he still owns the asset, and the asset is still paying him $20 or $30 or $40,000 a year.
Yeah,
okay?
When I first saw this, I've got 3 deals that this has happened on. And when I first saw this, these are deals that, some of the first deals I invested in, I was hooked immediately because I was like, dude, this is how people get rich. I never understood real estate, but I understand it now. This is the ideal situation, is to get a deal that appreciates in value over time. You take a new loan out on it. You pull all your capital out of the deal. You pay no tax on it. And the way you do that is you find deals in markets just like today when corrections are happening and prices are going to be coming down because the market will force them there.
Yeah.
You can acquire these deals, and then in 2 or 3 years when prices and values go back up, boom, you get all your capital back.
Yeah, hey, did you guys insert those new things that we went and looked for? Those new images? I don't see them.
Yes, sir.
That's why I went in there and did that. I don't
sir.
see them. Because right. Oh yeah, there. I'm looking at it right now. Huh? Dang, that's how you did it. Okay, number 4, you got a market correction. Okay, market correction. You know about the stock market correction, but what most of you don't know is we are in the biggest real estate correction since 2008. This real estate correction will be $2.7 trillion. There's $2.7 trillion of opportunities, and no one even knows about it because nobody's teaching people or educating people or informing people or making them aware of what's really going on in the game of real estate, okay? Now,
do you want to just talk briefly about what's happening with this 2.7 trillion?
well, what's happening with it is, I don't know, do you have the debt correction? Did y'all put that image of the debt correction in there? I sent something to Annie that showed.
We're checking on it right now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, what happens is, you want to write this down, by the way. Real estate only corrects, there's no exception to this rule, only corrects under one condition. There's only one time, you can go back to the 1800s, there's only one time when there's a debt correction. Okay? So when debt becomes problematic, real estate becomes problematic. All real estate, typically, most real estate has a 10-year loan term. Could be 7 years, could be 5 years, could be 3 years, but typically most of the real estate I'm going to show you to have 7 to 10 years. So let's say this guy bought this in he bought this real estate in
2021 on a 3-year with.
Yeah, let's say he bought it in 2021. This is a good example. 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, here we are today. Okay, now in 2021, real estate only corrects when there's a debt correction. I'm talking, look, I've done $5 billion worth of real estate deals. I'm proud to say that. I'm not bragging when I say that. I didn't know, if I knew what I'm going to share with you today, I could have done 50 billion. without exaggeration, okay? So 2021, they did a loan on this deal. And let's say the loan, we'll just keep using $1 million. They did a $1 million loan, and the loan was for $1 million at 3%. Okay, and they're going to go in, they went and fixed the property, and they're trying to raise the rents. That's 22, 23, 24. Oops, the loan's due.
Well, what's the property returning when they buy it? What's the cap rate on the property when they return it?
Well, probably 3 or 4%. So they were making $30,000 or $40,000 a year on this $1 million property, and now the interest rate was $30,000 or $40,000 a year. So they really weren't making any money. They had this idea that they were going to improve it, raise the rents,
and then the return would go from like 3 or 4% to 6%.
6 or 7%.
Yeah.
But what happened was these interest rates went to 7 and 8% when the loan came due. Okay, let me make this bigger for you guys. Okay, 21, 22, 23, 24. This is really important what I'm telling you right now. Now, you might not understand this right now, but everything I'm about to share with you sets you up to find one deal that'll make you and your family $1 million. All you need right now is a willingness and an education. That's all you need. If you have the willingness, put a big W in the chat if you got a willingness. If you get confused along the way, you're like, I don't understand what he's talking about right now. Just keep the willingness, and let me give you the education. I'll give you the education. So if you live in Baltimore, Syracuse, New Jersey, Denver, you live in Pueblo, Colorado, you live in California, Sacramento, you live in Los Angeles, you live in Arizona, you live in Tucson, you live in Houston, or you live in Beaumont or Lake Charles, or you live in Illinois. Like, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm not going to go buy real estate in most of those markets. I can't buy more real estate than I'm buying. Right now, we're buying these massive trophies, okay? I'll show you a deal I'm looking at right now.
While he's looking up, I want to say something about this debt, because he was saying, hey, you know, the debt corrections lead to real estate corrections. Interest rates and real estate prices are inverse. So as interest rates go up, prices come down. As interest rates go down, prices go up.
That's right.
So these two work inverse to each other.
Yeah. So let's say this guy did $1 million loan right here, or he bought a piece of real estate for $1 million and no loan. Well, it doesn't matter. The money right here was 3%. We woke up somewhere around here, the rate went to 7%. Okay, like this is the kind of stuff I buy, all right? I'm trying to buy this deal right now. I don't know if you guys can see this in the images, but this is best in class, massive, 800 units. This deal will trade probably somewhere for could be $175 million. So I'm not buying 30 units in Peoria. But you're like, okay, so why are you doing this? Because I want to help you guys buy whatever you want to buy. And the bigger the deals are, the better the deals are, okay? So watch. This deal was worth $1 million when interest rates, remember, interest rates and real estate are connected. Real estate and rates are connected. When rates go up, the value of the property goes down. This is what Jared was talking about. When rates go down, you can pay more for the property. These people, the rates were going down, so they were paying more for the property, and here they woke up 3 years from now in 2024.
The fastest interest rate hike in history.
In history, by the way, they were saying right here, we will not raise rates, we will not raise rates, we will not raise rates. This has been done. This is done every 10 or 12 years, by the way. It was done in 2008, it was done in 2000, it was done in 1994, it was done in 1800s to the ranchers. This has been a repetitive game. They're basically grabbing land. The bank will over-debt you. Rates go up, and they're like, hey, man, this new loan is not worth, I can't get you a loan because of 7% interest rate, okay? That loan today is only worth $300,000, which means somebody can only pay $500,000 for the real estate, and the real estate lost 50% of its value. That is happening right now in the marketplace. And number 5, there's a glut, a massive glut. that is not even making the headlines. Nobody knows this is going on because everybody, if you just go on Google and say real estate correction, the only thing you're gonna get served up is single family homes, single family homes. Oh, there's a big supply in Sarasota and there's a big supply. Let me show you the glut that I look for. I'm not looking for single family and I don't want you to look for single family. So let me just see if I can show you what I found this morning. Oops, I already closed something I shouldn't have closed. Okay, this is just multifamily on one site. These are over 500 results. This is just.
There's way more than that too. That's just showing it's over 500.
These are thousands,
yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
The first thing I pull up is a deal in Portland, Texas. Look at this deal, okay? This deal, you couldn't build this for less than $6 million. It's 32 units, right, Jared?
Yeah, 132.
And what does it say they want for
It's
it?
132. It's an auction for 3.5.
Oh, it's 132 units.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And it's at an auction for $3.5 million. I mean, I might just make an offer on that right now, sight unseen. Like, let me just make an offer.
You're going to have to log in and create an account.
Okay, I can't do it right now, but I'm going to put a little heart for it and keep it, okay? Where did you find that? That's on LoopNet. It's completely free. You can go there. This is not where you want to buy real estate. I'm going to show you better sources today, better places to source, better deals. Yeah, look at this, dude. Look, if you could buy this, I mean, I could just tell you right now, 135, if the rents are 800 times 12 times 0.60 times 0.93 divided by 0.06.
30 million?
12 million.
12 million, yeah.
I could pay up to 12 million and steal this. Now, how did I do that math? I'm going to show you how to do the math today. We're actually going to offer you a tool so you can do the underwriting on that deal as fast as I just did it without knowing anything, without calling the broker, without even seeing their T12. T12 is their trailing 12 months. Now, all these terms you're hearing from me, if they're new to you, they're going to confuse you a little bit. But if we had 2 days together, when are we going to do that 2-day event?
4 weeks from now.
4 weeks from now, I'm going to do a 2-day event like this, not 90 minutes, but like 9 hours, 4.5 hours one day, 4.5 hours another day. Okay. Then I have enough time to explain all this in detail and spend more time on each topic. I only have 90 minutes today because I know you got to deal with your family. I got to deal with mine, but I'm giving you as much as I can in that period of time. What is this a door, Jared? 25,000 bucks?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that number. The number you underwrote it at, what was it, 14 million?
No. Just do the 3.5 million. Let's say I can buy it for 3.5.
Yeah, 26,000 a door.
Yes, it's $26,000 a door. Okay, so $26,000 a door. The rents are going to be $800. They could probably go to 1,000. I don't know. I don't have any data on this deal. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I know this. Anything you can buy for what's called the 1% rule. The 1% rule, you're taking notes. I'm giving you a lot of information really fast, and I apologize. But the 1% rule basically says that the rent divided by the per unit price, okay, if you can buy it, let's say it's $800 rent, and it's $80,000 units per unit, that's the 1% rule, okay? In this case,
The rent is 1% of the per unit price.
Yeah, in this case, it's 800 divided by 32. I mean, it's a 1.4 rule. So anything at the 1% rule, you're still in the real estate. Like, now, I don't know if the market's good. I don't know if the location's good. I don't know how hard it is to collect the rents. I don't know how desirable the place is. I don't know what the value add or forced appreciation concept is. All those things need to come into play. I don't know if Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or the local lender likes this particular asset or location or market, but I do know I'm still in real estate. Because you can't build this. This is called replacement cost, RC. Okay, if you guys have questions, by the way, you can throw them in the chat. I'll try to get to all your questions today. Maybe at the end, if you guys stay to the end, I'll bring some people on to actually do Q&A with me.
Yeah, I like
Just
that.
stay to the end, okay?
Yeah, I like that.
And for those of you who are like, dude, bro, I'm already hooked on this deal. I love what you're saying. I want to get involved in real estate. I want to learn what you learn. We're going to actually do this event in 4 weeks.
4 weeks, yeah.
4 Saturdays from right now. Let me just show them what we're doing, Johnny, in case some of them want to go. Who's on the video right now?
Mateo.
Got it, Mateo.
Mateo, yeah, so let me just show them what we're going to do. If you guys want to, I think it's grantcardone.com/now. It's grantcardone.com/now. If you want to join us for us, right, Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's grantcardone.com/now. Anybody that takes advantage of this without me going over it, by the way, it basically includes a 16-hour masterclass that you start today. 2 days with me where we slow everything down. It's $297. And for the first 100 people, we're going to give you a strategy call. Okay, if you want to call into the office today and talk, we'll give you a strategy call, a free strategy call with one of our experts about where you're at and what you want to accomplish. The whole thing costs $297. It's grantcardone.com/now, grantcardone.com/now. Go ahead and talk to him. And anybody takes advantage of it, I'll give you a call with one of our coaches to talk about where you're at, what you want to accomplish, and how you want to get started, okay? Now, for everybody else, look, I'm not here to sell you anything. If you want to get other support from us, great. I'm here to simply provide you with as much information as I can in 90 minutes as possible. Can you come back to me now? Okay. All right. Where am I at here? Where am I? Market correction going on. Inventory glut. Now, where is the inventory? Where's the inventory at? Let me just show you this. Okay. I just showed you where I have a little bit of real estate. Look at this. Like, guys, if you bought this much real estate, you would be a billionaire so fast. You'd be the fastest made billionaire without knowing anything about technology. All this real estate is going to sell, by the way, whether they get their price or not. Okay, every red dot here will be traded. Okay, the beautiful thing about real estate is the real estate always stays. It just becomes a new owner and a new tenant. The building I'm in, how old is this building that we're in today? You know? Can you look it up? Just look up the address. The other thing about real estate that I love is that everything is quantifiable. Now I'm gonna reduce this down to, give me a city. Anybody in the chat, give me a city. First city I see I'm gonna use. Indianapolis.
2003 was built.
Yeah, so this building's been here for 22 years. And somebody's paid rent every single month for 22 years. Okay, in Indianapolis, I have 78 results. 78 random results. Here's a deal, 8 units. Oh, God dang, this deal's perfect, man. 1.9. Let me see. I'm going to show you how fast I can underwrite this deal. Man, I don't love this deal. I like the way it looks, though. Okay, here's a deal. 2 units for $750. Don't like it. Here's a deal for 2.2. 5 multi-unit families. Nah, I don't like it. Here's a deal in Indianapolis, built in 1946. This goes back to my point. This is almost 100 years old. This place has been collecting rents. You guys cannot give me one stock that has been around 100 years and still paying a dividend. Let's see. There's 14 units in Indy I like that deal. Here's 1.7. Here's. I don't love this deal. I like the way it looks, though. I do. I wonder if I could steal this. See, that's what you want to do. Ooh, here we go. I found something. Here's 124 units, 15 multifamily properties, 124 units, 15 different buildings. I probably know what this guy's doing. He's doing what's called a portfolio sale. See, I need to explain to you guys what's a good deal, what's a bad deal, and how to move on. Watch how fast I'm moving through these deals. Like, I love that deal for a second, and now I realize it's not one location. I don't love it as much. But, let me see, 9.7 divided by 124 units. Yeah, I'm starting to like it again. See? Hey, she don't look that bad. Yeah, she's got big feet, but man, the rest of the package is nice. Okay? By the way, most of these pieces of real estate will last longer than most of your relationships. Your kids will move out and you'll still own this stuff and it'll still take care of you. Let's see, there's a 4,000 square foot office building. Office is in major correction right now. Great deal. You on me right now or you on the map? Maybe split scene. Okay, here's a residential income property, 7 units for $425. Love it. I'm in one city, folks. I could sit here, if I was living in Indianapolis, I could sit here 2 hours a day. Okay, first of all, 2 hours a day, 365, that will give me how many hours a year? Does that almost qualify me? 2 hours a day?
It's 750 hours, yeah.
Yeah, 750 hours. If I just spent 2 hours a day just looking at real estate in Indianapolis and Columbus, that would qualify me as a professional real estate investor so that every penny I earned in real estate would actually be deductible against my other earned income.
Your depreciation, yeah.
Okay, any of my losses. Okay, see this 7 unit deal right now? I finally found one that's worth me stopping on. Okay, look at this little beast. 7 units. This guy's probably got a loan due. Can you pull it up on our deal finder? We have a piece of technology called 10X Deal Finder. Jared's gonna run it through there to find out all the loan data. But this is what I know about this piece of real estate right now. 7 units, let me just see here. Click here to get access to the data. 7 studio rentals, maximizing rental income. Click access. So you got to know what you're looking for right here, okay? So this deal, this is what this deal says, $400,000. Oops. $400,000. He said it's yeah, there you go. He's saying it's a 10.64 cap rate. And, it's got a specialty building, whatever that means. Great investment, 5 studio units, zone low density. Property management has contracts with multiple source feeders, 12 cap rate. Oh, this says a 12 cap rate now. Okay, they don't know what they're doing. So, and basically it's saying it has $66,000 a year in income. Okay, and it makes, I'm reading this financial statement. Look, I just pulled this up, by the way. It's got $15,000 worth of expenses, and it makes $51,000 a year. If I'm reading this right. Go ahead.
So the last transaction was May 9th of 2023 for $259,000. Had a $149,000 loan through PNC Bank.
Okay, so he just pulled it up. We just found out.
It's a 20-year loan at a 6.32 interest rate.
259 is their current loan, Jared?
Yeah, yeah. It's a combination loan between a conventional loan and a credit line.
Okay, so there's a credit line, there's a loan on it for $259. So I know I only need $140,000 to buy this asset with a loan that's already in place, which means I don't even need good credit. I could literally assume this loan, start creating net worth for myself. I just need to find the $140,000. Now the $140,000 could come from 10 people, $14,000 each. I could be like, I'm going to be the 11th person, or get 9 people to give me $150,000 each. We'd own this piece of, $14,000 each. How many of you know somebody that's got $15,000? 9 people give me 15 grand. We own the asset. I manage the asset. I increase the value of the rent income, and I'm in the real estate game with no credit and no money. Okay, there's a glut. My point is there's a glut of inventory out there in the marketplace. And I just spent 10 minutes, and that's just Indianapolis. Look at the deals. You can't do all those deals. You can literally be a multimillionaire just focusing on Indianapolis, Indiana, a tertiary market or third tier market. Okay. Number 6, interest rates are falling. Okay. I'm going to show you a little beautiful little graph here. 10. And I've been saying that Donald Trump would do this. Donald Trump hates interest rates. 10-year Treasury yield. You guys are going to go to my computer now. And we're going to go back to 3 months. Look at interest rates in America. Let me go to 1 month. Look at it. Look at it just diving off a cliff. Look at 5 days. Okay, popped up a little bit Friday. We see these rates, they're coming down. The lower the rates go, the cheaper the money gets, okay? When interest rates come down and you have a glut of information, a glut of inventory out there, and you got guys sitting at 7 and 8% interest rates, you're gonna be able to buy at the lower rate, okay? They're gonna drop their prices as long as you know what asset class to be looking at, and it's not single family. Number 7, if you're taking notes, tariffs are good for real estate. Why? If the tariffs go through on lumber, steel, glass, etc., no one will build homes, or let me just say that home builders, apartment builders, anybody building anything is going to delay projects until the tariffs go.
Or until the tariffs force the Fed's hand and they lower interest rates and buying activity picks up again because rates drop.
Well, yeah, but
because that is a reality. If interest rates drop, do you think real estate activity picks up?
I know it picks up, but the issue is, look, supply and demand is what controls prices, okay? In this country, we're 5 million plus homes short in this country. Homes can include apartments. Your mom's house, it could include a duplex, it could include a 300-unit apartment complex. We're short in this country 5 million homes. We need to build more homes. California, massive, massive glut. They probably have half of this is just California. They got 40 million people. The lowest home ownership in America is in the state of California because they limit supply. They don't want to build new housing. They make it very, very difficult. And sometimes it takes 7, 8, 9, 10 years to build something there, whether it's an office, a park, whatever. Okay? So if the tariffs go on, and let's say we were expecting lumber to come in from South America or Canada, softwood or hardwood, or glass or steel, and we were expecting that to come in, the builder's like, they're going to put a tariff on it, 10 or 15 or 20%. I can't do my project, so I'll just delay the project. Less supply, the same amount of demand, prices go up, okay? So every tailwind. Number 8, the debt crisis, okay? And I brought it up already, so I probably shouldn't even repeat it. This is the Mac Daddy that Jared's referring to. The debt crisis is here, and the people, big institutions, big guys that own 10 times more property than I have hit a debt wall, okay? Now, you guys got to decide today, hey, what are you going to invest in? Are you going to invest your time in real estate, or are you going to invest your time in stocks or crypto?
Or you could do nothing, but the only people that ever make money and build any wealth are investors. People don't get rich by saving money. So you have to get your money working for you. You work your ass off to make money. And most people, because they're financially indoctrinated with bad info growing up, they put things away in a 401k. They can't touch it. They can't control it. They can't access it till they're 65. The way that you make money is by investing. And so you have to pick the vehicle. And what Grant's been talking about today is, a lot of people invest in the stock market, but the benefits of real estate are tremendous. Lower risk, higher return.
I'm going to go over why. But I just want to tell you, Jared's right about what he's saying. You can work, and still end up with nothing. Most of the middle class works and ends up with nothing. Maybe a retirement account that you can't depend on that got slaughtered Thursday and Friday. I have my friend Mark call me, oh, goddamn, I hate Trump. I'm like, bro, it's because you got $10 million sitting in retirement accounts that got probably lost $1.5 million Thursday and Friday. I said, I've been telling you, Mark, get out of the paper and get into the real estate, okay? And this is why, okay? Number 1, you get cash flow. A good piece of real estate should cash flow 6 to 8% a year after every expense. Okay, number 2, capital preservation. When you buy, CP is capital preservation. And for those of you who are like, I'm working hard, but I don't have any money, good, become an investor, invest other people's money. You don't need your own money in real estate. In real estate, you can actually manage other people's money in real estate. You cannot do that
in the stock market,
without getting a, what's it called?
Series 7 license.
Series 7 license, okay? 3, the tax benefits in real estate for you and your investors are enormous. Nothing provides the kind of tax benefits that real estate does. This is indisputable. Now, if you're watching this and your wife's in the other room, get her in here right now. Ladies, if your husband's watching a game right now, get his ass in here. If your kids are watching, I shouldn't have said ASS. If your kids are watching or they're doing something else, get them in here, because this is the way you and your family create wealth, generational wealth forever. Number 4, you get to control the appreciation. You cannot do that when you invest in Facebook. You cannot do that when you invest in NVIDIA, Google, Ford Motor Company. Let me show you Ford Motor Company stock, okay? One of the greatest countries.
Yeah, and look, like, people make money in the stock market, but it all comes down to what type of risk are you willing to tolerate. And one thing for sure, people, even in recessions, people have to have a place to live. People pay their rent. Like, the one thing that they pay is to make sure that they have a roof over their head, which is why rental property is such a great asset.
You're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me, man. You're getting ahead of me. You're covering what I'm going to cover anyway, okay? There's Ford Motor stock. For all you guys that think, oh, all stocks always go up, you could have bought in 1999, this is what they always tell you, long-term, be a long-term investor. You could have paid, in the year 1999, 2000, you would have paid $35 for Ford Motor Company. 25 years ago. It's worth $9.50 today. Okay, you have lost 2.5 times your value. Let me go to another company you guys know, because this is what you're lied to every day about this. Chipotle. No. Let's go. Who was it? Beyond Meat.
Beyond Meat. Yep.
Remember when Beyond Meat, Jared?
Yep.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this is the next thing." Okay, watch the next thing. Beyond. It was in the S&P 500, by the way. Beyond Meat. They don't even talk about it anymore, okay? Watch. Beyond Meat, watch this. I'm going to go 5 years, back 5 years. 5 years ago, you would have paid $180 a share. It's worth $2.87 today. $2.87 divided by 189. 287 divided by 189. Yeah, you only lost like 98.5% of your money. So what did they do? They removed it from the S&P 500 so it doesn't show up there. Okay, now let me see.
Peloton.
Peloton. You want to do Peloton? Let's do, Peloton or BlackBerry. There's Peloton. Let's see, Peloton. I hate Peloton. I hate it because I got to pay them that thing just to get my video thing to work, and I don't even watch the video thing. Peloton. Let's see. Where's it? Is it even there anymore? I don't see it.
The ticker is PTON.
Oh, there it is. Peloton. Okay. Peloton's a $5 stock today.
2021, it was trading at $162 a share, and today it's trading at $5 a share.
Okay. There's no piece of real estate that has done that. Those 3 examples, Ford, Peloton, and Beyond Meat, there's none of them that have collapsed 98%. Now, have they collapsed? Some of these office buildings these guys bought collapsed, but they're paying them cash flow while they're waiting for that collapse. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of the correction, get the cash flow, get the capital appreciation. But what I wanted to say on point number 4, if you own Peloton, Beyond Meat, Ford Motor Company, or Facebook, or Apple, by the way, Apple, Facebook, if you take those, Tesla, they all exploded, but there was only 7 of them. You should have had all your money in those 7 and nothing else. Now, my question to you is this. Can you control the direction of the appreciation of a stock? No, you cannot. I can easily control the appreciation on a piece of property when I rebrand it, take care of the tenants, paint the property, plant trees. There's so many things I can do to control the value or the appreciation of the property. Number 5, when you own a stock, let's say you own a stock and you bought the stock for $100, and that stock goes to $500. Or I own a piece of real estate for $100, and that piece of real estate goes to $500. Okay, let's just change these numbers so they're more impressive. 100,000 goes to 500,000, and 100,000 goes to 500,000. Okay, this is stocks and this is real estate. I'm making a case why this real estate is what you guys should be focused on. This cash flows. This has capital preservation. This can go to 0. That can't go to 0. The real estate cannot go to 0. This has tax benefits. That doesn't. This, I can control the appreciation by planting trees. I cannot control the appreciation of a company I simply invest in. And you cannot take cash out of this stock, okay? You could borrow on margin. You could borrow on margin, which means you could get a high interest loan on margin, and they'll take your stock from you if it drops, okay? But here, I could actually borrow $300,000 on this investment, pay no taxes, okay? Because real estate cash flows and the others doesn't, okay? Number 6, I could trade this, called a 1031. You cannot do that here. Number 7, I can scale it. I could go buy another property like this. I could actually take this 300 grand that I took out of the 500 and go buy a $300,000 property, or actually a $900,000 property with leverage. You cannot leverage real estate. And number 9, okay, or number 8, the last one is, guess what I can do with this? I can pass this on to my kids. Okay? Did you know, let's say I got $5 billion worth of real estate today. When I die, guess what happens? That value, see, I got about, let's say I got $2.5 billion in this. I'm gonna pass this on to my next generation. I have it set up, and their new cost basis is $5 billion. This is why you see so many guys take these ambassador jobs and government jobs, is because when they leave the private sector and go into the public sector, there's a law written in the Congress so that he can move his $5 billion, not pay taxes, and then when he comes back out from DC and back to assume his assets again and go back to work, his new cost basis got moved to $5 billion from $2 billion.
Is that called the step up in basis?
It's called a step up in basis. It's called basically a big middle finger to the IRS. Okay, it's an insider game, and the only way to play it if you're in the private sector, you and I are in the private sector, is with real estate, not with stocks, because if you had $5 billion worth of stock and you pass it on to your kids, you're going to be paying taxes on the upside of this. Now, what do I know? Hey, guys, all I know is this. I've been buying real estate since I was 30 years old. 30 years old, okay? The first thing you have to do in real estate is find a good deal. Now, when I talk about the deal, I'm talking about the real estate itself, right? I'm talking about, what is this? This could be a RV park. It could be apartments. It could be
storage.
It could be office. The building we're in right now is an office building, okay? I bought an office building next door. I believe I stole both these buildings. I bought another office building in Phoenix, Arizona. They're doing better today than they were when we bought them. Storage could be something, okay?
Mobile home parks.
Industrial. A piece of land could be something. You could own a piece of land and actually lease parts of the land to oil, gas, a cattle rancher, grazing, water rights, etc. Okay? So the first thing we want to do with real estate is I want to find the real estate. Then the second thing I want to do is I want to see if there's debt. Always, this is the order of everything. First the deal, then the debt. Now, we only look, and I only want you when you leave here today, or when you decide to join us at grantcardone.com/now, we're going to be showing you how to do deals that always can get debt. Always, okay? They have to get debt. It doesn't mean you're going to use debt. I'll show you how to raise all the money without going to the bank, but you always want a deal that can support debt. Back to me. Okay, I'm just looking at it right here. It's just distracting for me. All right. Number 2 is debt. We want to show you how a deal can support debt. Number 3, there you go. Equity, okay? Let's say the deal was a $1 million. The debt, $600,000 or $800,000. And the equity, when you hear me talk about equity today, okay, where can I get the $200,000 from? I'll show you how to do that as well. I'm also going to show you how to build a network. Real estate is one of the most friendly, like the only thing more friendly than real estate maybe is health. Okay, if you knew something about people's health, you could solve people and they could live longer with less pain, they'll talk to you, they'll tell you anything, okay? The other really friendly conversation is, I own real estate, I buy real estate. I was at this meeting yesterday with all these wealthy guys. Hey, where are you buying? What are you seeing? What do you like? What are prices? What's the debt market look like? The conversation is very easy. And the 5th thing you need in real estate You need the deal. You need debt. If you have bad debt, by the way, no problem. I can fix your bad debt with real estate, with the deal. You need equity, endless amounts of it. There's no shortage of equity. Number 4, you need network. I'm going to need brokers. I'm going to need lenders. I'm going to need insurance companies. Like, man, you just get hooked up into all these super cool professional people. And the 5th thing you need, probably the most important of everything, is confidence. Okay, maybe just help me out here. Put a 10X in the chat. If you ever saw a deal, you were driving down the street and said, we ought to buy that deal. We ought to buy that piece of real estate right there. And then you didn't, but you were right. You should have bought it. Okay, you found the deal. I don't know whether you could get debt or not, or whether you could get equity. Maybe you talk yourself out of the deal because you're like, I don't have any money. No, what you didn't have was confidence. Okay, I want you to understand this. You didn't have the confidence because if you had the confidence and you knew this deal was going to be bought for $1 million and be worth $10 million, if you knew that for sure, okay, help me out in the chat. If you knew you found a deal for $1 million and you knew for sure it was going to be worth 10x in 10 years, it was going to go to 10 million. Would you be committed to finding the debt and the equity? If you knew for sure, let me just see a yes. Let's say you're broke. You have nothing. You have no money, bad credit. You don't even believe in yourself. But you knew for sure God gave you something and said, bro, this deal, for sure, guarantee you, it's the winner of the lottery, makes you 10 million. Okay? Could you find the debt? Or would you be willing to do the homework? Would you be willing to spend time with me so I can teach you how to find the debt? And would you be willing to spend time with me so you can learn how to start raising money from friends, family, neighbors, people you went to school with, people in your network or off of social media? If you knew for sure. See, what you're really missing is confidence. You don't have the confidence. And that's why you passed that deal. That's why you passed that deal. So this is why we want to offer you guys to come spend time with us. We're 60 minutes into this already. I want you to come spend 2 days with me in 4 weeks, 2 days, 9 hours, okay? We made this really easy for you to do, okay? We're going to give you our real estate interactive 2 days, master class. I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of other stuff in here. I'm going to give you this multifamily dictionary. So for those of you that are getting lost with all the terms, you're going to get this book so that you know what NOI is. Gross rent multiplier. You know what the different terms that are being used here. Forced appreciation. There's hundreds of terms. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to send you our cash flow hat, my real estate book. I'm going to give you a strategy call for the first 100 people that take advantage of this. I'm going to give you my increased value calculator that I'll be telling you about in a second. Our instant underwriter. That's how I underwrite deals so fast. I do it in my mind, but I'm going to give you an actual way to enter it into your phone and figure out exactly what a deal's worth, okay? And I'm going to offer for the first 100 a priceless, whatever, get on a phone with one of my coaches and tell them where you're at, what you want to accomplish. If you guys are on Instagram or LinkedIn or you're on Facebook right now and you want to join us, go to grantcardone.com/now. Are we on X?
On X, TikTok.
Yes, sir.
And you guys on X, if you're on X, you want to go to grantcardone.com/now. We're going to start this today. You can call in today. You can get on a call with a coach. I'm going to give you our 16-hour masterclass today. That's $10,000 at my website. I'm giving that to you, and I'm going to do the whole thing for $297. Okay, $297. If you don't have $297, call my office and tell my team, bro, I can't find $297, but I want to do it. Okay, I don't know. Figure it out. If you can't figure the $297 out, bro, you ain't going to figure out the $1 million. Let's keep it real. Okay, so I want to help you. Now, whether you live in Singapore, Cincinnati, Dubai, or Detroit, whether you live in Australia or you live in
Anaheim.
Bro, the deals are out there. The entire world is in a recession. Joe Biden wouldn't tell you. We're going into a major recession in America. Interest rates are going to go down. There's a glut of inventory. I'm telling you, you have a window of opportunity to make millions. I'm not talking about make 10 grand on a deal. Millions of dollars in real estate. So join us, okay? Take advantage of this right now. GrantCardone.com/now. It's GrantCardone.com/now. Let me show you my first deal. My first deal that I ever did. These deals are available today. Let me just see if I can find one for you real quick. Random. Give me a city. Anybody, anywhere. Give me a city.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Shelley Barron
You
says
saw Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay, watch this. I'm going to go to Atlanta. A great correction market, by the way. I'm going to give you, before we leave today, we're going to do a Q&A at the end. For anybody that stays all the way to the end, we're going to invite you into a Q&A and just take.
Why don't you share with them the top 10 markets you're looking at right now?
I'm going to share that on the call at the
Q&A,
end of it. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
I just pulled up Atlanta Marketplace. There's 45 deals in Atlanta, just those that I'm an expertise in. I've confined this down to just things that I know I am a master at, okay? Let me see. I'm going to go sort this from low to high. And the first deal I see here is 1 unit for $389,000. I already know. I know what I know. I could just pass it up. That's not a deal. Here's $724,000 for 3 deals. $825 for
One single.
1 unit, not interested. 3 units for $850, not interested, just moving by. Here's a 4.41 cap, not interested. I know what that means. You don't, I do. I just keep moving, okay? Like if you meet a freaking psychopath, and she, let's say he or she is like, wow, man, they're amazing. They're beautiful, they're perfectly, but you know they're psychopaths. What do? You don't get tempted. You just move on because you know the psychopath is going to ruin your life. Okay. Now, those of you that don't know that they're a psychopath, you're like, might be cool. Yeah, you're going to ruin like 3 years of your life with psychomaniac. Okay. And everybody's run into one of those. Here's 6 units for 1.1. Don't leave it alone. Here's a triplex for $1.2 million. Just keep moving. It's not a deal. Bango, no, that's garbage right here. Let's see. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. No, it is. Okay, 8 units for $1.4 million. Here's a deal.
Oh, there you go.
Huh?
That one doesn't look too bad.
Nah, it's terrible. Terrible. I can show you 5,000 deals better than this in any market. Look, you got to know what you don't want, what you don't want to buy. See this deal right here, 778 Northeast Oregon. You could probably buy this deal with $75,000 down. I know that there's a special Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loan process available right now for 4 units, and I could put less than 5% down and buy that deal, but I don't like the deal anyway. Here's 1 unit for $2 million.
What about that $1.7 million for 14 units?
Yeah, that's not a bad deal. I like this, Jared. I like it. I like it. Okay. So we found a deal now. Now, what do I do with this deal? What's the first thing you do with this deal? It's 100% occupied, 14 units. Highly sought after Hapeville in Atlanta.
Value add.
Value add. What's the next thing you do right now? Who knows what you do now? Throw it in the chat.
Matt said call the broker.
Yeah, that's the first thing you do right now is you'd call this guy Andy. Okay? Now, I'm not going to call Andy right now. I'm going to save that for 4 weeks from now when we're going to go through these deals and I'm going to actually call brokers and you're going to hear me talk to them on the phone. Okay? I'm not going to call Andy right now because Andy, if he knows me, he knows I'm not going to buy that asset because that asset is too small. You see this operating memorandum? You're going to click on that.
And this is basically the summary of the property, the location, the demographics.
Yeah.
There's some more detailed financial information, the split of the units, between 1-bedroom studios, 2 bedrooms, what's going on around in the neighborhood. It's basically a sales pitch on why,
Yeah, and there's no financials on this. So these guys want a phone call, okay? They should have the financials on this, but they don't. I didn't see them, okay? So what I'm going to do in this case, on this deal, here's the deal. If I like a deal, first thing I'm going to do is find a deal. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call either the broker or the property. Okay? I'm going to call up and find out what the rents are. Once I find out who the guy is and what the rents are, I am then going to use my instant underwriter calculator to figure out what I can pay for the deal. Okay? Pretend that I called the property, because they're not going to be there today. It's too small. They can't keep a manager there on Saturdays. And I call and find out they have 14 units. Everybody do this with me. This is going to be a little test. Let's see if y'all can do it as fast as I can. And let's say the rents are, what do you think the rents are, Jared? Let me see if I got any.
At that place?
Yeah. You want to do 850?
I was going to do 750.
Let's do 850. Let's do 850 on the rents. And let's do this. Let me see. Where is my little...
Do we have the name? What's the name of the
Instant
property?
underwriter calculator. How many units was it?
14.
14. Let's say the rents are $850 a month. Okay? You guys tell me what the value of the property is. It has no other income. It's 95% occupied. You're never going to get... it's 40% expenses. And let's say the cap rate's 6%. The number I came up with was $1.3 million.
That's what you're supposed to offer.
That's what I was supposed to offer. Now, I did that because I have this instant underwriter calculator, okay? Matt came up with $1.4 million. You're right. You're right on the money, bro, okay? $1.4 million. The next thing you're going to do is divide by the number of units. That's $100,000 a unit, okay? I'm getting $850 on the rent. Where do I want to be in this property? Where would I like to be ideally on this property if I knew I was stealing? You'd want to be at 14 times $85,000 a unit. You'd want to be at $1,190,000. That's ideally, okay? If I get to that number,
You're over the 1% rule.
let me see here. At 1 million, 7%, okay? At $1,162,000, and it's how many units? 14 units.
14, yeah.
14, 1,160,000. And then, by the way, I could send him this data and say, this is what I am willing to pay, and this is why I'm willing to pay this, okay? You would need, on this particular deal, this is a 7 cap now. What's 7 cap? Is that $84,000 a year? $77,000 of net cash flow, okay? Can you put it in our deal finder, Jared? We have a 10X deal finder.
What's the address of the property? Do you have that real quick?
Let me see. Go to 877 Virginia Avenue. Virginia Avenue.
7 Virginia Avenue. 877.
See, I was getting ready to show you the first deal I ever bought. I didn't know all this.
Virginia Avenue, Atlanta,
I wish I knew all
Georgia.
this.
All right. So this property. Wow, it was purchased out of foreclosure in 2009. That was the last transaction.
Does it say for what?
$745,000 plus an additional $74,000.
So
gotta-
say again, Jared. It was what?
There were 2 foreclosure transactions on it, so
Okay.
for $74,500 and $745,000.
Oh wow, they
So
bought
810.
So 150,000.
Yeah.
They bought them for 150,000.
No. They bought 745,000.
Oh, 750.
Yeah, but they plus 75. So
820.
828, 825.
Okay, so 825. That's what they paid for it.
Now-
What is the debt on it now?
they've got a 30-year loan
Wow.
at 1.1
Wow, dude.
over $1 million, 5.6% interest rate.
Wait a minute. They got a $1 million loan.
Yep.
At what?
At 5.68%.
Okay, now I need $232,000 to buy it based on the data I had. Now he went to 10X Deal Finder. How much is 10X Deal Finder for anybody who wants to buy?
It's $1,500 for the year, or $1,000 to start, and $99 a month.
Yeah, so you pay $1,500 one time, or you pay $99 a month with some money down. Okay, it's called 10X Deal Finder. He just told me, see, because for me to get a traditional loan, I need $232,000 to control $1.2 million of real estate.
Bonus.
Which is pretty cool, by the way. Pretty cool, right? Everybody stay with me. I need $200,000 to buy a $1.2 million property that will pay me $77,000 a year. $77,000 a year. I only need money for 4 years and I have my down payment back. But Jared went and got some other data, and the data is this. They want $1.2 million. That's a fair price. What do they owe, Jared? They owe $1 million.
Plus, they took a
At
$530,000 3-year loan out that actually matured. So they probably paid that off.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, good. So I could literally they got a $1 million loan right now, right,
Yep,
Jared?
yep.
Okay, so I could give them $200,000. This costs $50,000 a year. 14 times 850 times 12. They're earning $330 a year. Okay, they're earning $330. I think I have a 1 times 0.07. So yeah, they're probably got, I got $77,000 of NOI. Is that right? Is that what I said?
You were around 80,000.
Yeah, 77,000. Yeah. So watch this. $77,000 of NOI. My debt's $50,000. I'm going to make $27,000 of cash flow a year with 200 grand down. Folks, what is 27,000 divided by 200,000?
10.5%, 11%.
It's 11% of my money. Okay? Now you could go to an investor and say, look, I'll pay you 7%. I'll pay you 7%. I need 200 grand. I'll pay you 7%. You're going to earn 4%, and you don't have any money in the deal. You found it. You got funding on it. The funding was already on it. You didn't put any money down. You got 200 grand from your mom, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, or whoever. You pay them 7%. That's twice what they can earn at the bank, double. And you keep 4% of the 200 grand. That's $8,000 a year. And check this out. You're going to make this deal with them. You put 100% of the money down. I'll do 100% of the work. I'm going to pay you 7% on your money. Okay, once you get your $200,000 back and your 7%, then we're going to go 50-50 on the upside of the asset. I keep all the cash flow above 7%. Okay, if I can get it to cash flow another $200 a month, do this math. There's another calculator we have: 200 times 14 times 12 divided by 0.06. I could create $965,000 of new value by raising the rents only $200 a month. Okay, watch. Follow me here. He gave me 200 grand. I assumed the loan. I pay him 7% a year. He earns $14,000 on his money. You're not paying him a 14 grand. The real estate is. You're going to do all the work on the real estate. That was the deal. You do 100% of the work. You found the deal, funded the deal, raised the money, and now you go collect the rents. You collect the rents. Everything above the 7%, you guys split. I'm sorry, you keep all of.
Until they get their 200 back.
Until they get their 200 grand back. So everything above, you paid him $14,000 a year. The thing cash flowed $26,000. You keep 12 grand for yourself. That $12,000 is your money. You're getting paid to manage the property. He put the money down. He signed the loan or the loan documents. Okay, check it out. There's already a loan. Now, the $200 a month. Remember the $200 a month? 200 times 14 times 12. It's going to produce another $33,600 a year. You're going to keep all that because you paid him a 7%. So now your deal's paying you $50,000 a year and you don't have any money on it. Do I have your full attention? But that's not all of it. Because you raised the rents, the value of the property went up. Okay, this is a 30-year loan. Probably never going to get rid of it. So the $1,200,000 asset that we bought, plus the $965,000 that we increased the value. I used what's called an increased value calculator. I'm going to give you guys all that. Everybody that took advantage of grantcardone.com/now, grantcardone.com/now. Everybody that took advantage of that, I'm going to give you the masterclass, the 2 days with me, 4 weeks from now, interactive. Phone, tablet, computer, I'm going to send you the content. It's live. I'm in a room for 5 hours with you, slowing everything down. I've seen 100 times in here today. Slow down, bro. Slow down. I only got 12 minutes left right now. Okay? So I said I'd do 90 minutes with you. I'm going to do this over 9 hours, and I'm going to slow everything down. So I apologize for going so fast, but I'm on limited time. Okay? So I increased the value of the property by $965,000. Now the property's worth $2.2 million. Okay, you see this extra million? What did I tell the guy I was going to do?
50-50.
50-50, bruh. 50-50. Okay, I get $500,000. He gets $500,000 if we sell it. He gets $500,000. I get $500,000. He gets his $200,000 back. I made $50,000 a year. Let's say I had it for 5 years. I made $250,000 on the cash flow, $500,000 on the score. $750 grand. He made $1 million. He made his $200,000 back. He made $14,000 a year, 5 years. He made $80,000 in cash flow, plus he makes $500,000 too. Win, let's do it again. Okay, now let me go to the increased value calculator. If you guys, for those of you who do not take advantage of the grantcardone.com/now, I'm going to show you the math on the increased value calculator. I'll just give you the math. For those of you who are not good at math, grab that calculator, okay? It's brilliant. And basically the math is this. This is the increased value calculator math. The increased value calculator math does not talk about the value of the property. I already gave you the underwriter calculator. This is not the underwriter calculator, what you should offer. This is what it will be worth when you achieve your goal. Okay, in this case, it was 14 units. That's the number of units. You multiply that times the rent increase, 200. So 14 times 2 is 2,800 times the number of months. That'll always be 12 times 12.
33.6.
Okay, equals the increased collections divided by the cap rate.
What do we have? 0.7 or 6? 6 cap or 7 cap?
I mean, you can multiply times 90% or something, but let's just I did it at 6 on the way out.
It's 560,000.
Okay, in this case, that's $560,000 of increased value. If the rents are only $750 and you think the rents in that market can go to $1150 and that's still cheap, you would make $1.5 million, okay? What I'm doing on the increased value calculator is I'm finding out, let me just show you the first deal I ever did. I didn't know any of this. So I just went into a deal and I didn't know.
Because you saw people making money in real estate, you heard about, income properties, all this. And so he did what most people do.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm going to go to something that I can actually swallow or make sense of, which is typically always a single family house.
Yeah.
Bless you.
What happened was I found a house. I thought it was a good deal. The house was what, $78,000 or something?
Yeah.
I put $3,500 down. Before I closed the house, my intention was to move into the house. I thought it was better for me to own a home than rent a home. And I was renting anyway. I'm like, let me just go buy this house and I'll move into it. Before I moved into it, I heard about these two chicks that wanted to move in and rent it. And they said they would pay me $550 a month. My note was $350. This is how I got involved in real estate. It was a complete mistake, okay? I was making $200 a month times 12. I was making $2,400 a year. Now, I don't know how bad you are at math, but this is pretty easy to figure out. I put $3,500 down, 24, if you divide 24 divided by 35, oops.
2,400?
Yeah, if you divide $2,400 a year by my down payment, that's what I paid for the real estate. You guys understand? I didn't pay $78 for the real estate. I paid $3,500. And I got a loan for $74,500. The loan was paid, and I made $200 a month. So would you want to pay the loan, or would you want somebody that lives there to pay the loan? To me, it was like a no-brainer. Like, fuck, you take it, okay? And I made $200 a month. I was making 200 times 12, 24 divided by 35, 68% return on my money. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to be a genius. I don't need to be George Soros or Warren Buffett or Bill Ackman or some, genius. I'm like, do it. I did it once. 20 days later, I bought another house, okay? But let me just show you what this first house did. This first house, I put $78,000. You can go look the house up, 1117 Sheffield. Here, I'll show it to you on my computer. Another beautiful thing about real estate. Okay, this piece of real estate, price unknown, This is on Zillow right now. It was built in 1955. This house is older than I am. This house has been around 3 years longer than I have. For 50, 60, 70 years, this house has collected rent. Okay? If you're mind boggled by this, 70 years somebody has lived in that house and paid rent. It's been making money for 70 years. Okay? Okay? Put a 10X in there if I have your full attention right now. Somebody said, can you please call me right now? Can you have someone call me? Did you see that?
Yeah.
So when you're talking to your coach today, tell them what market you're in, okay? Because that's where you want to start. Start in your market, folks. Okay? If you guys aren't doing this, I'm telling you, no offense, I'm trying to be really nice to everybody today. If you don't get in this game, you are IDIOT, okay? Or DUMB, or you're just LAZY, or you're just a VICTIM, okay? Do this, man. Get in this game today, I'm telling you. How much money have you, what do I pay you every month? He's never bought a piece of real estate on his own. Everything he's done with me, what do I pay you?
25 grand.
$300,000 of cash flow every year. For how many years now?
I mean, it's been going up every year for 12 years, 13 years.
So he's earned $3.6 million, I mean, over time, some $3 million or something in just the cash flow. That does not count the increased value of the equity over time. Okay, do a little math with me. Okay, let's play a little game real quick. And then I'm gonna show you my second deal. I want you to take 15,000 units. You can find them at CardoneCapital.com, by the way. They're at CardoneCapital.com. I have 15,000 units. And I want you to assume we're going to own these for the next 10 years. These are best-in-class real estate. These are Fort Lauderdale, Naples, Florida, Miami, Houston, Texas, best-in-class.
They call it Class A. Class A real estate, Class A market.
Great
the best of the best, yeah.
locations. Phenomenal pieces of real estate.
Brand new.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to assume we're going to go out to the year 2035. Okay, just throw in the chat. What do you think the rents will be on the rent increase? The rent increase will be over the next decade. What do you think they'll be? 20%, 30%? Give me a number. I don't deal in percentage. I deal in real dollars.
And just
Okay, the average rent's $2,000.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sorry, the average rent right now is $2,000. Okay, what do you think the rents will be? These are best locations in the country. What do you think they'll be? You think they'll
7,000. Candida says 7,000.
Oh, God damn, I'm gonna be rich.
Matt says 3,500, 3,700.
Let's take $1,000. Okay, I think everybody knows that we could easily be at a $3,000 rent in 2035. Now, I'll probably 25% of my assets are at $3,000 now, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you take that number, 15,000, multiply it times 1,000 times 12, and you divide that number by 0.05, what number did you come up with?
3.6 billion.
Okay, I would increase the value of my real estate. The increased value of the real estate, this increased value, would be, if I only get $1,000, because time, inflation, the rates simply just go up, rents go up, I will make, for me and my investors, $3.76 billion. Let's say I'm wrong, and it only does half that. It's $1.8 billion. That's why I said, man, real estate's great. Let's say I'm wrong about that. Well, it's only $900 million. Okay, either way, bro, we're putting a brick away for somebody. Okay, I cannot do that in business, and neither can you. You are not going to make $1 billion in as an athlete, unless you're LeBron, okay, or Steph, or you're some exception to the case. Most of these guys never make any money. They never end up with any money. Not if you're a rapper, okay? Not even if you work on Wall Street. You could work on Wall Street and not clip this kind of money. But anybody, regular people can do this if you have enough scale and if you get that rent bump, okay? What's the 3,000, Jared? What was the 3,000 here? Oh, yeah.
That's the rent.
Oh, that's the rent.
The rents in
rent,
2025,
okay?
yeah.
Well, really what we should have done is not the rents. We should have done the increase. Just the...
That's what we did. We did
we
the
did?
math. We did the math on $1,000. $1,000 increase.
Okay. Yeah, right. Good. Yeah. Now, what it did create for us, though, was...
$180 million a year in added revenue.
$180 million of new revenue. Now, you're not going to start with 15,000 units. I didn't start with 15,000. I started with one deal. Okay, it was $78,000. What did I pay for it? Who remembers what I paid for it? So was that a good deal? That's called leverage, okay? Now, it had $200 a month positive cash flow. You have to have positive cash flow or don't do it. If it doesn't have positive cash flow, do not touch the deal. And it should cash flow at least $1,000 a month, not $200 a month. Okay, I'm giving you the criteria to buy your first deal and make sure it's the right first deal. The first deal I did, I got lucky on. Second deal, I bought down the street. I did this 20 days later. I'd never bought anything. I bought one deal, called the bank and said, I had somebody rent the property. You were supposed to move in. We gave you that loan like you were going to move in. I know, but I didn't because these people were going to rent it from me. Okay, no problem. But I found another deal I want to do. Okay? And I went down the street, and this deal was, I forget what I paid for this. I bought this for $92,500, and the bank agreed to give me a loan on the entire $92,500. Okay, this was late 1990. This property's been there since what was it, Annie? Is Annie still in there? I forget when this was built. I think this was 1940.
1 second.
Yeah, you can look it up on Zillow. It's been there 30 years longer than I've been alive, okay? What did I pay for it? Okay? I was making $400 a month in rent on this one, $200 a month in rent on the other one. I'm making $600 a month. I was selling automobiles at the time. I was making as much on the real estate as I would on a bad month selling cars.
1955.
I'm sorry, 1955. Okay, another 1955. This property today is worth $1.7 million. The last one, by the way, that property today is worth, what does it say? I can't read it. $692. I shouldn't have sold either one of these. I sold them both. And my third deal, this is when I started learning something. This is when I finally started paying attention.
Well, what happened?
I spent 3 years, 1,000 hours learning how to buy real estate because now my appetite was.
But part of what happened is then you bought these two homes, and you're like, man, I'm king of the hill, and then your renters left.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm not king of the hill. I got to pay the debt, so I sold both of them.
that was really the pivot point for you.
And then I'm like, okay, I got to go learn now, and I started studying. I literally spent 1,000 hours, 3 years. I studied Fred Trump. I studied Donald Brin,
Sam Zell.
Sam Zell. I traveled all across the country, collected information. I met with hundreds of brokers asking questions. And then I figured out, okay, I know this game now. And my next deal would be 3 years later. It was $1,950,000. Replacement cost was $5.1 million. There's a very important number right here that you're going to use in real estate today. We call it RC, or replacement cost. You want to be under RC. I paid $1 million. I put $350,000. My confidence was up now. Notice I'm not doing deals with no money down anymore. Now I got $350,000. I borrowed it from other people, by the way, and then I got a loan from $1,650,000. I had a loan on this and a loan on that, and this deal was paying me 12% on the $350,000.
$40,000.
$52,000 a year. I was making $4,000 a month from the deal. Okay, I bought 48 units. 30 days later, bought 38 units in Point Loma, put some more money down, did it again. A month after that, I bought 92 units. Within about 9 months, I had 500 units in California, and all that property. This one piece of property today, the rents are $3,000. How long has that been around? Can y'all pull up what Cedar Woods?
It was 19. I think it was built in 19. Let me just see here.
Watch this. This is Vista, California, 210 Cedarwood.
210 Cedar.
48 units. I can go in there right now. Those rents are probably $2,800. The Sheffield property, the first one I bought, the rent there is $2,800 today on that old house, 1940 house. The rent on the second house I bought today is $7,000. It's a 3-bedroom house, $7,000 a month. I should have kept that one too, but I didn't know what I didn't know. I was stupid. I was enthusiastic, but I wasn't confident. What are you looking up?
I'm trying to find
This property today, by the way, I would end up selling this property 3 years after I bought it, I sold it for $4.1 million. I paid $1.9 million for it. Actually, I only paid $350,000. Borrowed the $350,000, by the way. I end up with $3.2 million of profit on $350,000 investment. Almost 10 times, plus the cash flow. Check this out. I took the $3.2 million.
It was built in 1950.
Yeah, that other property, this property's been there. It's been doing this for 75 years, by the way, okay? This property, I took that $3.2 million and I bought a $9 million piece of real estate and paid no taxes on the $3.2 million. Now, all that sounds like I'm a genius, right? Wrong. I'm an idiot. That piece of property is worth $14 million today. I shouldn't have sold it, okay? But I didn't know what I didn't know, okay? What I'm gonna try to do today is show you what you should be buying. When you leave here today, in the next 12 minutes, by the way, if you haven't taken advantage of the opportunity we've given you, it's a stupid, ridiculous offer, okay? It's basically this master class. This is 16 hours of content.
Everybody in that room paid 10 grand a seat to be in
This is the $10,000 program. You can go on my website, grantcardone.com right now, find it. The Real Estate Masterclass. It's $10,000. I'm giving it to you. I'm going to give you our increased value calculator that I briefly showed you. Okay, we're going to download the link to your phone. I'm going to give you the instant underwriter so you know how to justify to the broker and to the seller what the property is actually worth, not make it up. I'm going to give you a coaching call today. We have 12 of these left if you want to grab it. About 12? What are you at?
Let me just
Or open 12 up, okay? I'm going to give you 12 of these. 12 people get to call in, tell us where you're at, what market, what you want to work on, how to get started the best. I'm going to give you the strategy call, and over the next, when are we going to do the coaching call?
We're going to do one coaching call every week the next 4 weeks until the event.
Next 3 weeks.
4. There's
Next
4
4
calls.
weeks,
Yeah.
on Friday, we're going to do a coaching mentoring call.
3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Fridays, okay? We'll record it. If you can't make it, you can still get the recording. And at the end of the 4 weeks, I'm going to do a Saturday and a Sunday. And I'm going to do what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to take a lot of time to answer questions. We're going to spend 9 hours, 4.5 hours a day, okay? Also, for those of you that already took advantage of it, I try to do something extra special. I'm going to give you our cash flow hat, our interactive real estate workbook, the real estate book, How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate, the 10X.
The dictionary.
Daytimer, our dictionary.
Of multifamily terms,
This is stuff you're going to keep for life, folks. And check it out, if that's not enough, I'm going to give you a $297 credit at my store. We have 3,000 products and services that you can apply that $297 to. $297 credit. You're going to give me $297, and then I'm basically going to take the $297 and I'm going to transfer it to my store. So you virtually paid nothing to do this, okay? So 2-day interactive with me, 4 weeks from now. You can't buy that, okay? You cannot buy it. You're going to get 9 hours with me talking about one product, real estate. The real estate coaching call, take advantage of that today, okay? The real estate masterclass, this was supposed to be changed, guys. We talked about changing.
Yeah.
Okay. Real estate masterclass. Go to the next one. I got to say it now, otherwise we all forget it.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You're freaking me out. You went away from.
Well, they're controlling this right now.
Okay. The real estate masterclass. Go back to the lines. Okay. The one that we were supposed to change, just put that back up there so they see a summary of what they're getting. It's grantcardone.com/now. There you go. Bonus, real estate masterclass, the dictionary, the instant underwriter calculator, the 10X toolbox, the one-on-one strategy call, and like I said, the instant underwriter, okay? Now, what assets are you looking for? Number one, not single-family homes. Leave them alone. Mansions, leave them alone, okay? Apartments, check them out. This is a tremendous asset class right now, okay? Number 4, office, great. The underwriting will work identically, but there's a couple of other complications here that we need to get you briefed on so you know when you're still in real estate. This is a massive opportunity in the real estate market right now to buy office. Number 5, retail. Unbelievable opportunity. Everybody said during COVID retail would fail. Guess what? Retail exploded. It did not fail. It did not go away. And we're in probably the greatest real estate correction across these last 3 asset classes in my lifetime. Self-storage, it is in correction right now. Mobile homes, unbelievable opportunity in RV parks. The math works identical. Land, farm, oil lease, empty lots, leave them alone. They're too complicated for you right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trade with you in 4 weeks. I'm going to trade with you today, starting today, and over the next 4 weeks. I'm going to trade with you what I've learned going from, I don't know, 2 units
Two
to
houses,
48 units to 15,000 units, to having a couple $100,000 in equity in real estate, to having $5 billion worth of real estate under management, okay? A couple of formulas I want you to consider. The number of units. I want to you take a picture of this if you can. Do they see this?
Yeah.
You want to take a picture of this, you can. Number of units. This should be watermarked. Grant Cardone. Number of units times the rent increase times the occupancy times 12 months divided by the cap rate equals the increased value. It should be every page. Okay? A couple things before we leave today. Okay, again, we're going to take this down in 10 minutes, guys. I'm going to take this entire recording down in 10 minutes. The opportunity to join us in 10 minutes. We're going to open it up for some Q&A real quick. Unbreakable real estate rules. Don't compromise your location. Use the 1% rule. Okay, units allow you to scale. I talked about this earlier. I'm just giving you a summary. Can't support debt. If it can support debt, do it. If it can't, leave it alone. Look for barriers to entry. We'll be talking about more of that in 4 weeks. California is the perfect barriers to entry marketplace. Stay below replacement costs. Okay? What's a replacement cost? See this deal right now I'm trying to buy? Let me see. Can you show this deal? That deal right there? Okay, it's 800 units. 800 units. It would cost $600,000 a door to build that today. 800 units times $600,000. Oops. 800 units times 600. Son of a bitch. That's 480,000 million, right? Okay. So if I pay $160 million, how far below replacement cost am I? 320. Okay, so I want to know that I'm well below replacement cost because I have to hear if I buy it for 160, like, oh, that's a lot of money. No, that's a lot of money. Okay, if I buy it for 160, back to me, guys, back to me. Oh, you are back to me. Okay, I have all the way to 480 before someone can be competition to that asset. So let's say Jared wants to buy the lot next door. He looks at the lot next door and says, I'm going to build competition to Grant's 800 units. He's going to spend $500 million to do that. If he starts today and puts the first shovel in the ground, 25, 20, 26, 27, 28, he's not done until maybe 28 or 29. His costs could explode between 28, 29, 30. Remember the tariffs I talked about? Mm-hmm. He's like, oh shit, man, I'm getting glass and steel, not this year. I'm getting glass and steel in 30 or 28. Okay, I got to get permits. I got to start digging. I got to get a foundation. I got to build it. I got to deal with the city. I might not actually have a tower going up until, what are we in, 26, 27. It might be 28 and Trump is leaving. And maybe Trump, the next guy's not so friendly. And so they're like, nah, we're not going to build anything. That's why this particular market that I'm showing you right here is spectacular, because the amount of units going up in that market where this NEMA is almost zero. It's the lowest supply market in the country compared to a Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas has 80,000 units coming online this year. Okay, now when you hear that, it's going to shock you. But what you don't know is the Dallas market has over $1.2 million, 1.2 million units in the marketplace. So 80,000 divided by 1.2 million. This is called absorbance. That's only 5%. They're only increasing their apartment inventory by 5%. Okay, here's another little rule for you: 1 to 5. Okay, to bring on one new unit in any market, you need 5 people coming into the market. So I need net migration, in-migration of 5 people for every 1 new unit that's built. So Chicago has net migration. It has net negative migration. It has more people leaving than coming in. Michigan has more people leaving. New York, New Jersey, California. Like, but I just go over the list. You got to know all these markets. I can teach you guys all this. Okay, you're going to start with the master class. 16 hours. I'm telling you, it's the most valuable real estate information you will ever listen to. It's phenomenal. And then 4 weeks from now, we're going to spend some time going over these things that we never violate, okay? Number 8, if it doesn't cash flow, you don't look at it. Just move on. Next. It's all over the place. You can find a bunch of stuff that cash flows. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. Number 9, listen to this. Price is the least important of all the metrics. It is the least important, is the price, okay? Number 10, know your exits. How do I get out? Do I sell it? Do I recapitalize it? Do I get a new loan on it? Do I flip it? Do I go to the public markets? How do I get out? And number 11, I mean, the best thing you could do is refinance it and never sell. Now, watch. I'm going to show you a deal I did. It was 2012. You could show them the news article if they could pull it up. 2012, I bought 1,050.
If you guys can pull up Grant Cardone and Farash, F-O-R-A-S-H portfolio.
2012,
Florida.
I bought 1,015 units for $53 million. You're like, God dang, that's a lot of money. Well, not really, because I only put $15 million down. See, what I do is I eat everything. I take little bites and I reduce it. I didn't have 53. But I knew I could get a loan for 38. Okay? By the way, I didn't need credit on this. They didn't look at my credit. They didn't look at my score, my credit score. They didn't look at my history. They looked at the building, the 1,000 units that were creating income. Okay? Right? Now watch. I got a loan on it. Now I needed $15 million. I'm like, where do I have $15 million? Okay? I sold my house. I got the equity out of my house. I borrowed money from mom, brother, sister. We partnered on the deal.
I got in on that one.
Jared got in on that one, okay? Stay with me now. Stay with me. If you knew you could make $100 million, could you figure this out? First of all, you got to have the deal. I had the deal. I had it in my hand, and I knew it was the deal. Okay, there's the announcement right there. Grant Cardone acquires South Florida apartment portfolio for $58 million. 4 years later, 2012, 4 years later, 2018. In 2018, Wells Fargo called me up and said, hey, your loan, what was it?
You had a $58 million purchase price less $15
$45 million.
40, yeah, 40.
Yeah, I had $45 million. A guy named Wells Fargo, what was his name?
Bill Cave.
Bill Cave. Hey, Grant, man, your loan's due in 3 years. Fannie would take you out of that loan and give you a new loan in that, we'd been in it 7 years. They'll end it and give you a new loan. I said, okay, good, let's do it. Okay, I said, well, what's it worth today? He's like, we can get you a loan for $108 million based on the new value of the asset. Okay, I said, okay, good, I get a loan. Well, that's good, that sounds good to me. That's the loan. That's not the value of the real estate. Okay, the loan is 108. You owe 45 million. So we got to pay this loan out of the 108. And he says, you're going to have $53 million left over. I said, well, what do I do? He's like, pay your investors back. We had 15 million in the deal.
63 million.
Was it 63?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 63. Less the 15. I said, what do I do with the 48 million? I got to pay the investors back. That's a non-taxable event, by the way. We're getting our money back. We didn't sell the asset.
Yeah, there's no tax when you put a new loan on a piece of property. You don't pay tax on that because it's
against
debt.
the law to tax debt in America. No debt can be taxed in America. I paid my investors back, and because I'm a good dude, I didn't pay them off and give them the middle finger. I kept them in the deal. and then we chopped up $48 million. This $48 million is a non-taxable event. That's the year I bought my plane. By the way, I bought my plane, it was $50 million, and I got a tax write-off for buying the damn plane. It's freaking crazy. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much stuff I don't know what to do with money once I get it. So again, folks, if you want to learn the tax game, if you want to learn the real estate game, if you want to learn how to take advantage of this opportunity, if you want to really have confidence about how to find a deal, fund a deal, get a deal, manage the deal, refi, exit, and do it again, grab this opportunity and join us. It's going to be fantastic, okay? I'm going to give you a ticket, access to our 2-day interactive real estate training. That'll happen in what date, Jared? What date?
The real estate 2-day training is going to be May 3rd and 4th.
May 3rd and 4th. Carve it out. You're going to be there with me, and we're going to work this out to where you can make millions of dollars.
I'm sorry, May 4th and 5th.
4th and 5th.
No. 3rd and 4th, I'm sorry. I said the wrong name.
It's exhausting me
Yeah.
going back and forth. 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
It's May. We
Yeah.
only have one date. You only have a handful of things to be confident about, okay? It's the 3rd and 4th, okay? If you guys can't be there and you join us for this, you will get the full recording, okay? Stay with me because we're going to do some Q&A right here in a second, okay? You get the Real Estate Masterclass. That thing is brilliant. You can listen to that thing 1,000 times, and I promise you're never going to get over it. The Real Estate Marketing Multifamily book, so you have all the dictionary meanings. The coaching calls we're going to do weekly, okay, 3 p.m. on Fridays.
4 calls.
There's 4 of those. And if you'd like to take advantage of talking to somebody today, how do they call in?
When they transact, they'll get an opportunity to book a call.
Yeah, just go there,
you'll get an
Grant
email.
Cardone.
Yeah.
GrantCardone.com/now. It's going to tell you want to do your call today. We have a handful of those left. I'm happy to get you to take advantage of it. We're going to give you the instant underwriting calculator. I'm also going to give you the instant value calculator underwriter. And what else, Jed? Oh, yeah. If you're in the United States, I'm going to send you this box. Our real estate book, How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate.
Toolkit.
Right here.
Yep.
The cash flow hat, the 10x day timer, a water bottle, just some goofy little things that you might find valuable. If you don't, throw them in the trash. Or, hey, send them back to me. I'll donate them to somebody that needs them because there's kids out there that want this stuff. All right?
And we're going to give you a credit in the store.
Okay. And I'm going to give you a credit. So when you bang your card for $297, GrantCardone.com/now, I'm going to give you an instant credit at my store for $297. And
there's been a lot of people that are like, hey, what am I going to learn how to do this? Is this going to be the right thing for me? What we want to do is we want to give you a 100% money back guarantee. So if after the 2-day event, after the coaching calls, you don't think that it's been worth your time or the value that you paid for it, we'll give you 100% of your money back. You just got to give the credit back too. If you spend the credit, we can't refund you. So if after the whole thing, you're like, hey, this isn't a fit for me, just email the office. We'll give you a refund, no questions asked, 100% money back guarantee.
Okay, let's go to some Q&A. While you set up the Q&A,
Yeah.
Alan Levitt took advantage of this opportunity about a year ago. He says, Grant's real estate trainer, I've gained the confidence to find great deals and know to trust my underwriting. Natalie said the real estate training gave her the motivation and confidence to pursue multifamily investing full time. Literally quit her other job, okay? Dennis Peak, I'm an idiot though, I never quit my other job. Dennis Peak said the training allowed him to start with no money. He's underwritten 200 deals and submitted his first LOI. Eloy Martinez, before he joined this, he had 178 doors as an LP. With the help of this training, he has 389 doors under contract. Folks, I could go on and on. We did 600.
We actually have, yeah.
Excuse me. We had $600 million worth of deals we did out of one of our clubs last year. I don't know that you're going to do anything. Like, I know this, you're not going to do anything if you don't get the information. Teresa here, she attended.
We actually have her live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was doing Airbnbs, and today she has 280 doors of self-storage.
Let's bring Teresa up.
Yeah.
Let's talk to
in
her
the
real
house.
quick. Teresa, you with us? Your camera's off.
That's not me.
There we go. There we go. There she is. How are you, Teresa?
Uh-oh, she's on.
You're muted. You're muted real quick. Let's get her sound on, guys.
Okay, try it now. No.
There you go. We got you now?
Hello?
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Sorry.
Hey, so why did you decide to attend the interactive event?
Well, as Grant mentioned, I've had Airbnbs before, always in the single family home realm, and I had the opportunity to increase my inventory. And so I was really struggling with how to scale that because, if you got 10 Airbnbs, you have to have 10 people come and clean them every day, right? And so I was really trying to find that right answer. And I attended this event and then went ahead and jumped into the Real Estate Interactive because it just clicked. It made sense for me. That was the way to scale. So I could buy, 128 doors at one time or, 300 doors at one time instead of just one. So definitely it was the way that just clicked for me.
What would you tell somebody right now that was on the fence? Maybe they're trying, they're consuming all this information. They're like, man, there's a lot coming at me. It's really fast. There's a lot of words that I don't understand. What would you tell somebody that's on the fence right now?
Yeah, I think if you're on the fence, you just got to go ahead and jump because literally $297 plus you're getting that credit back. It's so affordable. That's like, think about how much you spend on, lattes every month or whatever. So it's totally worth it. And it can, change your trajectory for not only you, but your family as well. So, it's not much to lose. It's some time. And if nothing else, you become a better consumer, right? If you decide that this direction's not right for you, still going to the interactive makes so much sense because you learn and then you can transfer that in your own life.
That's amazing. Thanks so much for being here, Teresa. Do we have Diva?
Teresa, you're awesome, by the way, buddy. Congratulations.
Is Diva here?
Thank you. Appreciate it, Grant.
Diva, how are you? Thanks for being here.
Hi, Jared. Hi, Grant. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
We're awesome. So why did you decide to attend the Real Estate Interactive?
Well, I decided to attend because I was doing stuff old school, just doing fix and flips, because that's how my parents taught me to do business. So when I came across Grant's YouTube, it's like, it was just mind blowing how he was underwriting deals so quickly in multifamily. And also the networking community was huge for me.
And what did you learn as you started going through the programs? What were some of the things you learned that changed the way you were thinking?
So I wasn't really too confident on underwriting, and then also Grant would always call live brokers, which really gave me the confidence to keep doing and practicing myself.
And so what's been the impact on you? So you were doing single family fix and flips, and then what's happened for you since?
So we're actually going under contract on our first deal here in Orange County. And then I also joined the mentoring program, and then I also joined the real estate club.
Awesome.
So it completely shifted my mindset from doing fix and flip.
And what would you tell anybody that's on the fence right now about deciding to move forward?
So if anybody's skeptical, I highly recommend joining. I always say knowledge is the new currency. So it just depends who you surround yourself with and the community that you guys have created. I think that's huge. It's a plus. So I wouldn't even think about it. $297, like that's nothing today.
Yeah, and there's a money back guarantee. So, there's no risk. So
No brainer. No brainer.
Dina, it's good to always see you educating too. It's phenomenal to watch you grow and learn more new things. And I know that deal we talked about last week. Are you guys pursuing that?
Yes, we're actually going under contract today. We got to finish signing the LOI.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks, Diva. And let's go to Rich Santos. Now, Rich has a military background. You're a police officer?
Yeah, I am. I retired from the Navy, and now I'm a deputy sheriff in Orlando.
Awesome. And so why did you decide to join the Real Estate Interactive?
Like a lot of people, I really was interested in real estate investing, and I'd done real estate investing. But like Grant says, you cannot truly scale single family. And I wanted to learn more about multifamily. I didn't really know where to start, but there's so much noise out there and so many people. I feel like I've gotten to know Grant over the years, and I trust him, and that's where I decided to throw my hat in the ring.
And what's been the biggest change for you? So you were doing single family, like what shifted for you?
The scalability is out of this world. 10 doors versus 100, it's all the same amount of work. It's the mindset more than anything.
Yeah, and so what would you say to somebody right now who's feeling a little overwhelmed by all this, because there's a lot of new terms, there's math people have never done before. Like, what would you tell somebody that's having to battle with all that to figure out, like, should they jump in or not?
You've got to trust the process. Grant's done it. Your team has done it. You've been very successful at it. And there's a formula. If you want to be successful, just follow what successful people do and you'll get there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and on that point, there is a formula. There's, not just how you do something, but the order in which you figure out how to do something. I walked into a guy's house the other night. I was invited there for dinner in California. Thanks, Tony. And he was making dinner for like 18 people. No chef, no cooks, him. I walked in the kitchen, bro. There was perfect order in the kitchen. Now, I could cook, but there's no way there would have been order. The whole place would have been wrecked. Shit would have been everywhere. Confusion. This place was like, I'm like, oh, bro, you're a chef. You could see from the order, like one guy in the kitchen feeding 18 people. So there's an order. In the case of real estate, folks, if you don't know what the order is, you're not going to get the deal done. The first thing is you find a deal. Now, each one of these is going to open me up to new issues and new problems. Where? How do I find deals? How do I access deals? What deal am I looking for? When do I make a phone call? We're going to show you how to do those pieces. This is 80% of the game is deal flow. Okay? I have tremendous amounts of deal flow. Then I know how to actually contact the broker and hook him so that he makes me on his list. Let's say he got 400 phone calls about an asset, and he will, by the way. If it's an auction, foreclosure, hanging with the bank, they're late on the note, it's a distress sale, bro, they're gonna have thousands of phone calls, emails, like it's insane. You're competing with a lot of market. How do you talk to them? How do you call them? How do you make an impression? The second thing is, okay, where do you get debt? For any of you that's never accessed debt on commercial loans, apartments, office, it is a different thing than getting debt on a single family home. Number one, it's easier. And number two, you do not go to banks that don't offer money on this. So Bank of America is not who's going to give you this loan. This is also the cheapest money on planet Earth. It's the easiest to get, it's the cheapest, and nobody's going for it. And check this out. If you don't keep the property, if it has to go back to the bank, that doesn't even hurt your credit score. There's so many things that we're not taught. Third thing is, how do you raise equity? How do you get cash if you don't have any? And let me just explain to everybody. Everybody runs out of money. Okay, go to Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America. Go to the biggest banking, Vanguard, Blackstone, BlackRock, who did I mention? State Street. Go to any of those guys. They never put money in their own deals. They have no money in the deals. They raise money from the marketplace. And now, because of a law passed in 2012, you can actually raise money from the marketplace using the asset, having the debt in place, and a real great asset. You can raise money yourself, and I'll show you how to do that. Number four, you need a network. Okay, last Sunday, I did 4 events in California. Every one of those events had one thing in common. They were all real estate investors in those 4 events. Pasadena, Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and downtown LA. Every single one of them had real estate investors. It is the greatest network on planet Earth, short of being in a billionaire's club. Okay, and number 5 thing you need is confidence. Now, you're not going to get the confidence today. Today, you just got I'm interested. You cannot get confidence in 90 minutes. It's impossible. And you probably can't get it in a week. You're not going to have it until you do a deal and make money. And the more deals you do, I've done 49 deals. I've made money on every deal. I have a lot of confidence today. I know when a good deal is a good deal. I know where to call, what bank to call. I know when a bank cannot tell me no. They will not tell me no on the loan. I know how to talk to the broker and get them to call me back. So the more confidence you have. So real quick, this is what we're going to do. We'll play a little game. We're going to bring some people in.
Okay. Yeah, I got one.
We're going to do Q&A with the video. Go ahead if you want to do that.
I just want to go to Adrian one time because I think he's got a great story too because he started in real estate. Let's bring up Adrian.
So many things for me to keep track of.
I know.
Adrian, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Jared, what's going on, brother?
Good to have you here, Adrian. So tell everybody how you got started and how you got introduced into what we're doing.
Yeah, man. So I've been a real estate broker for 21 years, mainly just selling single family houses. So I think the biggest part, I got pretty tired with the single family game, right? I did a lot of the furnished rentals, just regular rentals, and it came down to just not being able to scale, right? So by joining, I mean, I started off with the interactive, but by joining it, man, it's like it helped me understand that it's all about scale. And if I can't scale, then I can't grow. So if I'm stuck with some single families, it was just important for me to continue and learn more about it, right?
And so you were doing the fix and flip, or you were fixing stuff and then holding it and renting it out.
All of it, right?
Yeah.
So still doing fix and flips, doing rentals, buying foreclosures, renting them out, doing the furnished rental game, wholesaling, all that stuff.
And so what have you shifted into now? Like, what are you working on now?
So now it's pretty much, dude, working on deals, right? I mean, this is, I went through, this is my second cycle. I'm calling this the second cycle because in 2008, 9, 10, that was a horrible market. And right now, dude, we're starting to see the same thing with some commercial defaults in the commercial space. So this is that other opportunity to where we can get in on a great buying opportunity right now in this commercial space. So, dude, I'm excited. We're in the process of I'm working on with a couple of members that I met in the group on a $59 million apartment complex. So we're in the process of working on that and trying to get it under contract, man.
How when you were buying the single family, when you were doing that game, did you ever think that it was possible to do a $59 million deal?
Dude, no. No, because so my whole mindset is like I got to do this by myself, right? And getting out of that mindset it's hard, right? Because I mean, we all have some egos and I have one of those. And it's getting to that point of like, dude, I can't do this by myself. I need a team. I need to network with people that are doing deals that have access to capital. Like that's I mean, it is what it is. So I mean, I had to get out of my own head and start making some moves.
And so what would you tell anybody who's on the fence right now about moving forward?
I think the main thing, if you're stuck or you feel like you're stuck with what you're doing or hating what you're doing, this is truly like an opportunity to invest in yourself. I'll tell you that masterclass that they're offering is freaking phenomenal. I want to say you guys charge like what, 10 grand?
Yeah, everybody that was there live paid 10 grand a ticket.
Dude, I've watched that thing 5 times and that is key, right? And even for me being in real estate, even looking at the book, the definition book for real estate investing, like, dude, that's priceless because people aren't going to take you serious until you start talking that lingo and knowing the acronyms, knowing, what the NOI is or just simply just a cap rate, right? So getting that basic information and investing in your real estate, dude, it's priceless. And you got to start somewhere. So if you want to get out of that spot where you're in now and grow, dude, it's 290. What is it? I don't know, 295, 297. Dude, that's a freaking steal. For sure.
Adrian, thanks so much for being here, bro.
So what he's talking about right here is gross income. Gross income is rents plus all other. Okay, there's a lot of things to learn about all other. Okay, application fees, credit fees. California, they're going to limit how much you can actually charge on others. Pet deposits. Like you got to learn this stuff. You got to know gross income. Now, what you don't want to do is be lied to and fooled by a broker that is going to use an OM, operating memorandum, that suggests that the gross income is greater than it is, or that the expenses, okay, in Naples, Florida, these expenses are 40%. In Miami, they're going to be 50 to 51%. In Houston, Texas, they're going to be 50%. If I go to Sugar Land, just 15 miles outside of Houston, they're going to drop to about 36%. Like, you have to know the market and what those expenses can be. Now, on 10 units, the cost to manage that thing could be 8 to 10% a year. But if I got to 40 units or 60 units, the cost could drop to 3.5%. You just got to know, and we're going to show you all this. I'll give you every piece of detailed data that you guys want to know. That gets me to my NOI. This is why the dictionary terms are so important. Like, what the hell does this stuff mean? What's effective gross rents mean? Okay? You got to know. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. It doesn't matter that you don't know, except that you know you don't know. And in the moment you know you don't know, you're like, oops, my confidence is dropping. And they can see it on your face, okay? Like, how do you even talk to these people when you don't know what they're talking about? Or you go to a bank and ask for a loan. The first place I went to a bank to get a loan, remember that 48 unit deal? The guy built it for $5 million. I paid less than $2 million. I knew I was stealing it. I went to a bank and asked for a loan, and they said, no, we don't like that market. It's not that they didn't like the market. They didn't give loans on that.
Type of property.
That type of property. But they're not going to tell you they don't give loans. So what they did was shit on my deal. Okay? I made $3 million. I made more money on that one deal than everybody at the bank got paid that year, including the guy that runs the damn bank, okay? The NOI, and that's what changed my life. I'm like, I gotta learn this game. I had never made $3 million in my lifetime. Since I had been working from the age of 10, I was 33 years old. I made more money on one deal than I had made in 23 years of work, and I worked my entire life, okay? The NOI, when I take this NOI and I divide by the cap rate, okay? The NOI is the net operating income. You divide by the cap rate. Who determines the cap rate? You in the marketplace determine the cap rate, okay? So in Austin, Texas, it's gonna be a 4.5 cap rate today. If I move from Austin, Texas down to San Antonio, and I'm only maybe 25 minutes away, I'm probably gonna be at a 6.25 cap rate. If I go from a 1970 urban built in Houston, Texas, I'm probably gonna be at a 6.14 cap rate. If I move down into the Galleria, if I move into a newer building, if I go to the Ivy on River Oak, I'm working this deal right now. Ivy, River Oak. Let me see. This deal right here, this deal right now in this marketplace should be a 5 cap, but they're not going to sell it except for a 4.5. In fact, let me just call this guy right now. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. What's her name? Heidi? Heidi? Is it Heidi? No, it's not Heidi. It's and this is one of the other things we do over the 4 weeks. Are you going to bring people in for us to answer questions too?
Yeah.
Again, we've been here 2 hours and 11 minutes right now. I said 90 minutes. I'm sorry I kept you guys long. Look at this beast. Look at this beast. Oh my God, it makes me feel good about myself when I look at that. I want to own that for my family. Okay? Now, do you know, let's say you had this deal under contract and you stole it. Would you know who to show it to? Would you guys know who to show it to? Show it to me. Shit, I'm a buyer. Okay? This thing is beautiful. Okay? Imagine if this is a business card. Hey, I have this asset under control. What is it? It's 297 units. It is the single best location in the city of Houston. 6 million people, 3 million of them, by the way, largest apartment market in the country. 3 million of these people are renters. The average person in this property makes $230,000 a year. They pay less than 12% of their income. I'm giving you data you need to know to do what? To raise money. They pay less than 12%. This thing's making noise, guys. I guess it's losing battery. They pay less than 12% of their total income to rent. What does that mean? That means the rents can go up, okay? Now, I think I'm going to earn 5% on my money when I buy this, and I believe, based on the information we have, to build this today would cost $550 a door times 297. It would cost $163 million to build it. It wouldn't be up for 5 years. And it would cost $164 to build it. It would be up 3 years. Let's say 3 years. They rush it to the market. It'll be up in 3 years. And I'm trying to buy it for $100. Who would invest with me on this deal? I'm $60 million under replacement cost. I'm $60 million under replacement cost.
Go ahead.
It'll pay 5% a year. And it's the single best location in one of the largest cities in America. Who would invest with me in this deal? That's all you need to know about the deal. And we'll make distributions every month. Okay? I've raised $1.7 billion doing what I just did. other people's money, managing it, putting the money in that building, and then that building never lets our investors down. Okay? I'm not suggesting to you guys.
No, there's something wrong with that.
I'm not suggesting to you guys that you bring people in and then let them down. That's the problem you guys have. You guys won't raise money because you're worried about letting people down. I know that the property's not going to let people down because I did my underwriting correctly. In fact, we would probably pay cash for this asset. And I know I could. I could probably raise some money for this deal in 3 to 5 weeks with a network. So what do you need? You need 5 things. You need a deal. Okay? Put what you need. I gave you the first one. You got to have a deal. Second thing you need is you need debt. By the way, when I was working this deal, I found out that on the $100 million I offered, they already have a $56 million deal. So I don't need $100 million. I need $44 million. Okay? So first you got to have the asset. Second thing you got to do is go to the debt market. In this case, they already have a loan on the deal. I don't need a loan. There already is a loan. Third thing I need is I need cash. Cash or equity. Fourth thing I got to have a network. You can't do this deal without a network. I need the broker. I need them to believe me. I need a title company. I need an insurance company. I need, like, you guys, if you guys are worried about $297, man, and you're never buying any real estate. Let's keep it real. Okay? We're not even charging for this. This is stupid. It ain't stupid what I'm doing. It's stupid if you don't do it. It's pure stupid. We just did that to be okay, I'm serious. Because the money you're going to spend is nothing compared to the time you're going to invest to learn this. We only want people that are serious. My goal is not to get you in this 2-hour interactive. My goal is to get you to be one of the people that can come on here like Jared showed you these testimonials. Frankly, I don't think anything of the testimonials. Testimonials have never influenced me, ever. I've never bought a product because somebody else said they won. The only person I ever cared about, am I going to win with this product? You can show me your abs, you can show me your arms, you can show me your money, you can show me your car, you can show me your plane. I'm like, I don't care what you did. All I care about is what can I do with the material. So the testimonials would never influence me. What influences me is this. Am I going to spend the time? Am I going to invest the time to get serious about building these 4 things so that I can have number 5? Because if I don't have number 5, folks, you wouldn't know the difference between a good deal and a bad deal, even if you did. You're like, I got a deal that's going to make my family $1 billion. If you don't have confidence, you won't pull the trigger. You won't get it under contract. You won't raise the money. You won't talk about it. And that's why you guys fail. Okay? I want everybody to understand this. The reason people fail today is not because they're lazy. It's not because they're stupid. It's because they lack confidence. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, I've always had a little bit of confidence. Even when I didn't have any reason to have confidence, the confidence I have today is way more than when I had when I was 20 years old. Let me tell you what it is. I'll show you my confidence.
Or more confidence that you had when you bought your first apartment deal.
Yeah. I mean, let me just show you the amount of confidence I have today. Let's see if I can go to this. I'm going to go to a website called cardonecapital.com, okay? Let's see. cardonecapital.com. This is my confidence today, okay? We just raised money for this deal right here. $88 million was raised in 3 weeks, and we combined it with Bitcoin for the purchase. This has never been done before. I have more confidence after the first one than the second one. We did another deal this week, brought it to market, and closed all the money for it. We've already done our second deal with real estate and Bitcoin. I'm going to bring my third deal out next week. Let me see. Where's my deals at, though? How do I see the deals?
Click investments, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal right here. Right there, that's 300 units right there in the top left-hand corner. It says coming soon. It's not coming soon. It's already closed. Here's the deal, 400 units in Flagler Village. 10X Jacaranda, 468 units. That gave me some confidence. 382 units at 10X Flagler Village. 10X Forum in Tampa, 252 units. Tarpon Springs in Tampa, 236 units. Okay, 327 units in Edison. I own all these, by the way. 256,000 square feet of office building in the most desirable location in Scottsdale, Arizona. You can't find a better location. 10X Miami River, 346 units. By the way, this deal check this out. This deal, watch this, Jared. We bought this deal 4 years ago. The loan's due today, $104 million loan. This is how powerful a network is. Okay, the bank wants to boom me on the new loan. I'm like, yeah, I got 2 of these for you. You got 1 for me. Okay, we're going to pay this off. We're going to raise $104 million. Okay, we have what do I have down in that deal? 46?
30 million? 35?
40? 152. So what I got? 48? 40. There's 48 million down. Right now, this deal only does about 1 to 2% a year. We're going to pay the loan off because the loan sucks. The loan came due. It sucks. I'm going to raise $104 million from my audience. We're going to make them partners in the deal. This thing is now going to throw off $6.8 million to $152 million divided by 152. It's going to go to 4.47% cash flow. Okay? And I'm going to add 68 divided by 165. I'm going to add $15 million of Bitcoin. I'm going to pay the 104 off. I'm going to buy $15 million worth of Bitcoin, and we're going to show them the property again. Johnny, can you show them that? No, not Johnny. This property right here. Okay, perfect location, great asset, 4 years old, already stabilized. I'm going to pay off the bank and tell them to F off, make people my investors. Okay, we'll raise 104 million plus 15, so $119 million I'll raise from my audience. We'll add Bitcoin to the purchase, and I'm going to have a piece of real estate that is worth $160 million. It costs $200 million to purchase it, to buy it, to replace it, to rebuild it. Okay, I'll have $15 million of Bitcoin included in the purchase. If Bitcoin today is what? Let me see.
83.
Divided by 83. So I'll buy 180 pieces of Bitcoin. You know how few people own 180 pieces? Okay? So I'll have 180 pieces. If the Bitcoin goes to 450, the Bitcoin will be worth 81 million. And I still own the real estate. So the real estate's worth 160 right now. We're under replacement cost. I get cash flow from the real estate, and I got this Bitcoin that does this crazy thing. I get the volatility and the stability. I get the liquidity and the no liquidity out of one asset class, okay? Then I wait, watch this. I wait for the interest rates to go to 4%. They're close right now, by the way. They're only about a point off. At that point, when the banks get friendly again, I'll take the $160 million loan times 0.70 times 0.04. I'll have I'll return, what did I say? 160, 44.8, 160 times 0.70. I'll get a $112 million loan. We owe 160. We'll own the piece of real estate for $48 million. We'll get back to the $48 million number I was at. Okay? The 112 is going to cost me $4.4 million a year. And if the NOI doesn't change, we still own the Bitcoin, by the way. We make $2.4 million annually, divided by 48. We earn 5% on our cash flow now, and we own $15 million worth of Bitcoin. Like if this happens in the next year and Bitcoin goes to 250, the $15 million worth of Bitcoin's worth $30 million. I got the best of both worlds. I got a piece of real estate buying my Bitcoin. Now, for all you guys listening to this right now, do not go out and buy Bitcoin today, okay? Because Bitcoin could go to freaking 10,000, 17,000. I'm going to get my property to buy my Bitcoin. I'm going to wait for rents to do this. Watch this. Rents since 1950. Again, the offer, folks, the offer, the invitation, if you will, is for you to join me for the next 4 weeks to educate you on real estate. Okay, I'm going to show you this graph right here. This is California rents. Those are stupid. Okay. You know what the rents in California today are? Median rent is $3,500. New York City, $5,700. San Francisco, $4,200. Like, it's insane, dude. Only 16% of all the people that live in California, 40 million people live in California. There's only less than 8 million people that own a home there. Everybody else is a renter. That's why it's such a good rental market, okay? Now look at this graph right here. Johnny, can you, or who's on?
Mateo.
Yeah, Monteo, bruh, what's up?
Yes, sir.
Monteo, look at these rents. Look at this graph right here. Let me see.
Got it.
Is there a graph? Oh, shit. Let me see. Okay, let's do some Q&A, Jared, as soon as I...
Okay.
Fucking bullshit. Can they hear me when I cuss like that?
Yeah.
Probably. Sorry, guys. Rent graph. Where's the rent graph? Well, you guys know what rents are going to do, right? Rents are going to be $3,000 across the entire country in the next 10 years. So you guys that are complaining about rents today, trust me, they're going to be more in the future. There it is. Look, you show me one period of time where the rents went down in that graph. Here's another one. The investor's edge. Look at rents in America. What does that look like to you? Does that look like that's going to fall? Okay, and notice since 2016, they jacked. Why? Who knows? I'm going to give $100. I'm going to give $100 to the person that knows the answer to why rents have exploded in the last 8 years. One answer to this question. That's right. No, you're close. You're not there yet. That's right. The print. We printed, Peter, I owe you $100. The next time you see me, make sure you say, hey, you owe me $100. I'll give it to you if I have it. Which I probably won't because I'm going to be invested in real estate. I'm never liquid, man. I'm illiquid, okay? Let's take some questions. Again, we want you to join us, guys, okay? I want to spend time with you and your family showing you how to do this. The greatest gift that God has given me is the desire and the interest in educating other people. I've always been an educator since I was a little kid. I always wanted to show my brothers and sisters what I knew.
Let's go to Samuel Felton.
And I want to help you get educated on this game, okay? The government is not here to educate you, and they're not gonna. Yes, man. How you doing, brother?
What's going on?
Hey, thank you. I think Sonia Lake was first before.
No, go ahead.
No,
we got you, brother. We got you.
All right, then. Thank you.
Let us
guys
run
so
the
much for
show.
taking
Let us
time.
run the show, man.
Right on. My question is, have you guys ever seen someone use a $2 million loan as a down payment for a $10 million loan while they still have payments on that existing $2 million loan, all for the purpose of funding a bigger property?
No, you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to do that.
It's
but
not
I can.
possible.
No, impossible.
Okay.
You can't. Yeah, that's
The bank won't give you the right.
That's impossible.
Because you have an open loan still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you went and found a $10 million property,
Yeah.
where do you live? What city you live in?
Oh, I'm in Silicon Valley.
Okay,
Redwood
good.
City.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's good. There's plenty of deals up there. That is going to be the slaughterhouse of the United States of America. Okay? All you're going to see is a bunch of butt cheeks wide open, just like completely like. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for years. People have wanted me to invest in the what do you call it?
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, they've been wanting me to invest up there. I'm like, bro, there's going to be Armageddon there.
It's crazy.
Okay?
It's so crazy.
San Francisco, Armageddon.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen is it's going to gut out. It's going to gut out, and there's going to be a moment in time where everything's going to be a steal.
I'm listening.
So let's say you found a $10 million deal that you could buy at a 6 cap over there. Okay, that means it produces $600,000 of NOI a year. Okay, you know, because I'm on your team, you know I'm going to take that. I'm getting a little complicated now. I'm going to divide that by 0.75. And you know you can get an $80 million loan. This is called the debt coverage ratio, or it's called...
8 million.
Huh?
8 million.
No.
It's $10 million property.
$10 million
It's
property.
an extra zero.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So I know I can get an $8 million loan. It's called debt coverage, okay? It's called
ESCR.
It's actually called a debt yield. This is called the debt yield number.
Okay.
Okay, I'm using a 7.5 as a debt yield. 7.5 to an 8. I'm going to get an $8 million loan. Now you got to know what bank would give me an $8 million loan, because this is going to hit what's called a 125 debt yield. So they're going to talk about a debt yield, and they're going to talk about a DCR. Okay? They're not going to give you the loan, bro. They're not even looking at your other bullshit loans. You got a loan on a car, a business.
Right.
They're not even looking at your credit. They're looking at that building. And if that building has a trailing 12, they'll look at the trailing 3, a 6, a 9, and a 12. And if they're like, hey, wait a minute, okay? Let's say this building actually has $900,000 of NOI. They're not going to give you more than the $8 million, but they're going to die to give you a loan on this. They're going to be throwing money at you to give you a loan on this. Because the higher the NOI is and the lower the debt yield is, the better this asset is for them. They don't care about your credit score. You're going to be like, do I need to sign on this loan? They're like, no, you're not responsible for this loan, bro. Okay, if you can't make this loan, no problem, because we got this. You cannot even sign recourse on this loan. They want nothing to do with your credit. Literally, your credit could be trashed out, and they would still give you a loan on this deal. So what's the point? You need to find the deal and get the deal under contract. Now what you're going to have to do is you got to go find $2 million worth of investors, people like me. Now, you call me up and say, Grant, I got a $10 million deal in Silicon Valley. I'm like, I'm not interested. Well, Grant, you don't know anything about the deal. Yeah, I do. I know it's too small. Okay, if this deal was 110 million, I would be interested. In fact, if it was 1,110 million, I'd be even more interested, because that changes my life and yours.
Yeah, well, you got my neurons firing with that, Grant.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even thinking that big.
Yeah.
On how they're not looking at what I'm bringing to the table.
You guys look at deals that are too small, and then you talk to people that are too small, and too smalls gets what? And it gets nothing.
And the bank looks at the property like a business, not like the average person thinks this the completely opposite way that a bank does. The bank is more interested in the deal than they are in you. The bank's job is to loan money out, and their job is to make sure that that money goes towards good investments, where even if you bail out on the deal, you've already put the equity down on the deal. You have to walk away from your equity, and now they got a $10 million deal for $8 million.
The big tall building I showed you, did you see the big tall one I showed you and I said I'm working on this deal?
Yes.
The broker's like, hey Grant, Fannie Mae is dying to give a loan on this deal because it's such a big loan. They said we can get you 270 million of the money today.
Wow.
So then I just got to figure out the difference. So that's just what I'm going to teach everybody how to do. I'm going to teach you guys how to take something big that can actually make everybody a lot of money, and you guys can do it rather than the white institutions owning everything in this country. Because they own everything, guys. Why? They own everything because they know the game. They know how to get the deals. They know how to get the debt. They know how to raise the money. They have a network, and they have the confidence. Mm-hmm. This is what you and I don't have, because they freaking threw us in a damn wooden chair in a classroom and made us listen to somebody making 50 grand a year.
All right, let's go to Sonia.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you join us.
I did. Oh, let me mute. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the I'm sorry, now I'm blanking, on government funded rents?
I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't love it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Volatile?
I mean, if you didn't have that nice hat and the sweater on, I'd think different about it. Like if you were a gangster, you know, but I just don't understand why you would do that.
I'm not a gangster.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I just don't love it. I don't love the idea that, you know, you are going to go collect rents
in a bad neighborhood.
You know, in a tough neighborhood, or, you know, just, it doesn't, you know,
You don't think I have people working with me that will go there and will stand and make sure I'm protected? And
yeah, you ain't got, baby, you could be a lot of things. A gangster ain't one of them. Okay? Okay.
I don't need to be a
Let me see.
gangster.
Let me see your nails. Let me see your nails.
Oh, they're rough right now. See, that's a gangster. nails.
Yeah, but you see that first one over there on your index finger? That one, that one's still looking good. You know.
She's still holding on. She's still holding on.
You know, look, my wife might want to be. You know, she's like, I want to be a gangster, but she's not. You know,
You
so
don't have to be something that you're not.
yeah, I'm giving you the advice. I'm giving you the advice I gave her sister, by the way. Her sister bought a deal in Oakland, California. It was like 16 units. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. She's like, oh, I'm still in this deal. Don't do it. She didn't listen to me, and she lost it. She had a deal, but she couldn't collect the rents. If you guys can't collect the rents, you don't have a deal. The tenant's got a deal.
All right, let's go to.
Now, in the case of the government, Section 8, she's like, I'm guaranteed rent by the government. That's cool, but you know what? When people start acting up and you can't move them off the property, you guys are going to spend too much time. Here's the mistakes you guys are going to make. Here's the mistakes. Everybody should write this down. And we're going to open it up some more people to ask questions, okay? Number one mistake you're going to make. These are the mistakes. I've made them, so I'm sharing personal experience. Where we at, Jared? Okay?
Candida.
No, I need an update. Okay, mistakes. Number one biggest mistake is you're going to do no deals. Number two biggest mistake is you're going to do wrong deals. Number three biggest mistake is you're going to do deals too small. Okay? Number four deal, you're going to do deals with too much debt. Okay? Some of you are going to do too little debt. That's stupid. Okay? That's Dave Ramsey. He's going to convince you not to have debt. I know a bunch of people, I got no debt. You stupid. Okay? You're the only people in the world without debt. The United States has debt. China has debt. India has debt. Australia has debt. Dave Ramsey doesn't have any. Well, go. Dave ain't bigger than China. Okay, everybody has it, but you guys. Oh, I paid my house off. I paid my car off. Okay, were you bragging? Because you shouldn't be. You sound stupid. What you want is a lot of debt that is being serviced by other people so you can get rich. Okay. All right, let's go to Candida.
Hey, Grant. Thank you so much for all the information that I've been able to glean from you guys. I'm working currently on my German property, and I was able to actually increase it from 4% NOI to 10.9% NOI.
Wow.
And yeah, I found a way. So it'll take me about 11 months to get that. And I am just wondering if it's
So what was the NOI when you went into the deal?
4%.
4% of what number?
Of 1 second.
What was the price of the property when you bought it?
It was 2.1. Actually, I took it over and bought it for my family for 2.153.
Good. This is a great thing, a family deal. So she took a deal, she paid her family out, they didn't want the deal anymore. It was like a 4%. Now it's doing 10%, which means this deal is now doing $215,000 a year in NOI. And it was
it is with my improvements that I figured out. Just changing.
Yeah, what market?
I figured out how to. Yeah, go ahead.
What market are you in?
Oh, it's in Dresden, in Germany. So unfortunately, it's hard for you to.
Okay, but even if that's a 6 cap market,
it's actually a market for 5.5 cap. I don't think the 6 cap is there yet.
Okay.
For furnished apartments, it is actually 10.9 cap, and I can increase rents immediately without having to scale them up.
Good, but bottom line is you created $1.3 million worth of new value, which is phenomenal.
Actually, at a 5 cap, I'm actually at a $4.14 million valuation.
But I did it at 6. I did it at 6 cap in case you wanted to sell. But I'm with you, okay? But like if you want to.
Yeah, and that's the question in case I want to sell. So is it?
But the thing you should do is you should go. What's the debt cost in Germany right now? Your debt's cheap, right?
Actually, it is actually 4%.
Yeah, your debt's cheaper than our debt. I mean, I would put debt on this deal.
Yeah, exactly.
And then pull your
That-
cash
that-
out and
that's
go buy
what I would
another,
do.
pull your cash out and go buy another one.
Yeah. You're going to get 215,000 divided by 0.075. You're going to get a $2.8 million loan. You're going to be able to pull $600,000 out after you paid, like you got no money in the deal anymore. So anyway, these are the kind of things that we can help people with. She's very sophisticated. She's already in deals. Okay, let's go to the next caller. Congratulations, by the way,
Thank you.
Germany, on your success. She could pull
thank you.
600 grand out and still cash flow, which means she has no money in the deal anymore. Okay, she would be getting money, $4,000 or $5,000 a month in cash flow, and has no money in the deal.
This is OSTAT.
Hi, Grant.
Yeah,
Hear me?
yeah, I can.
How are you?
Good, man.
Thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
the call. My wife just coming from Las Vegas, and my daughter, they were with you.
Okay.
I'm an architect and also a builder, and it's easy for me to build from scratch. And I'm in Houston, born in Mexico, but I'm a U.S. citizen. And the last years, I've been getting in multifamily deals, and I want to really get your deal of your course. But can you teach us some financial, legal structure? Because I think that's one of my key points. I think
No, it is not.
Five characteristics that you tell us.
No, the legal structure is not your issue. You should not even worry about the issue. It's not worth spending 5 minutes or $5 on. The legal structure is going to be determined by the bank, the lender, not by you. You guys that are running around fixing your credit scores and getting LLCs and I'm gonna do this, you're just wasting money, man. Okay, I have never in the last 30 years, not one lender has asked me for a credit score or for my LLC structure. Until I do the deal, then they're like, Grant, we need it organized like this. So let's say I buy this. This is called the 10X. This is called the 10X building. And I buy the 10X building. I get the building under control. Then I go to a lender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the order. See, because I have confidence in my order, I'm like, I'm not wasting any time on LLCs and bullshit. Okay? First, I let you build the building, first of all. I know you're a good builder. You got 10 years of...
Right.
Yeah, you got 10 years of default problems that you got to deal with. I don't have to deal with. They're all your problems, not my problems. I buy the building from you, and then I go to the lender and say, what structure do you want around the property? Boom, we want it laid out like this. Now it costs me $67 to do it rather than $6,000.
But for example, the big problem is I got the 5 characteristics you're saying. Confidence is my minor of my characteristics. But the problem is how to structure with my investors.
Oh,
That's
no!
like-
Again. My first invest. Again, not a problem, bro. Like, can you say AI?
Yes.
Good. Then you got it done. You do not need. I did an agreement with our investors the other day. They were going to send it to the lawyer. I said, do not send it to the lawyer. Here's 2 paragraphs. This is what it says. The first
Yeah,
deal.
he's my best friend right now.
The first deal.
ChatGPT is my best friend right
Okay,
now.
next guy.
Yeah.
Okay, the first time I did a deal with Jared, it was a 1-pager, 2 paragraphs. This is our agreement. Do you agree? When you're down to 3 or 4 investors, now if you're going to have 3,000 investors, different story. Okay, let's go to the next call. Next question.
Joseph.
Thank you.
And again, guys, look, I can't answer all these questions right here, right now, but we're going to do this for 4 weeks, and then we're going to do it for 2 full days. GrantCardone.com/now. In 17 minutes, I'm going to take this opportunity down. You're either in or you're not in. If you're not in, you're not in. No problem. I'm with you. I love you guys. Give me a count number.
Yeah.
How many total? Okay. People that are on right now. 48,000 people registered for this event. A small fraction of you guys are going to take advantage of this. I'm pleading with you for your family. Okay. If you're not conscious enough to say, this is the right thing for me, do this for your family. Your family needs to own real estate. If you've been in this country, you and your family have been in this country for 100 years, keep in mind, you've been buying real estate the entire time. Imagine if you would have been doing, you and your family would have been doing what I'm teaching you to do right now for the last 100 years. You wouldn't be in the middle class. You'd be wealthy. You'd be in the top tier. You would be making money because of real estate, not paying for real estate. Here's the thing about real estate, folks. You don't have to buy stocks. You don't have to buy Starbucks. You have to live someplace. You're either going to pay for it or you're going to get paid for it. Okay, let's go.
Joseph.
Joseph, what's up?
Uncle G, I'm a 10X business coach, just got certified in February, and I'm from Canada. I have an access to over 1,000 member investors in Canada that they are tired from investing in Canada. They want to get into real estate in the US. How can we get them into Cardone Capital?
Reach out to me.
Andreas at grantcardone.com. I'm sorry, Andreas at cardonecapital.com. ANDRES at cardonecapital.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Ficus.
Russell Brunson just called me. He's like, I know we don't talk much. I wanted to reach out to you to tell you that I think you're awesome. So fun watching what you're doing. People think I'm crazy that I'm doing too much stuff, and then I watch what you do, and I feel like I'm underachieving. Okay, next person.
We got Ficus.
We don't. We have John.
Okay, John, let's go.
All right, good afternoon.
What's going
My question is, I understand Grant said that they're looking at the deal to get approval.
Yeah.
But do they also consider my experience? And if they consider experience, how do we handle that?
Yes, yes. They're going to be like, yeah, bro, we love the deal. Who are you, man? Have you ever done a 400-unit deal? Have you ever done something in Abilene? Because if you don't have that, they're going to be like, nah, pass. You guys are going to have competition on these deals. So you're not going to be the only one trying to buy this. Now, this is where your network comes in. This is how you start learning how to craft stories. The thing that we didn't talk about today that's in the masterclass, how do you contact the broker? How do you talk to him? If you're a woman, you have a disadvantage. If you're Indian, you have a disadvantage. If you're black and sound black, whatever that means, you have a disadvantage. This is a white man's game. I'm just keeping it real. I know this sounds terrible when I say it. I think you appreciate it. The rest of the room will be all butthurt about it. But this is where you have to sound like these people sound. Okay? Somehow, however that is. So you got to be part of a network. Don't run this on your own. You know, I was at this thing yesterday, dude. Like, I'm not going to get in this club if I'm not with them. Like, it is a club. Real estate is a club. It is a very closed network of people. There's $38 trillion worth of real estate on planet Earth. It's owned by maybe 10% of the people. The cool thing right now for you is all the big money is sidelined. Okay? There's $38 trillion of real estate. Most of it is owned by the biggest, wealthiest institutions in the world. They're all sidelined. So people like me and you, for those of you who are wondering, hey, why is Grant Cardone doing this? Because I'm going to build the biggest network of individuals, entrepreneurs that own real estate in the world. Okay? This will be my legacy product. Our license program for Grant Cardone training, education, that will become one of my legacy products. What we do for kids, 10X Kids will become a legacy product. Maybe one day there'll be the Grant Cardone Awards for like Horatio.
Yeah.
Okay. But the fourth one is this. I'm going to build the largest private sector of individual real estate investors, and we're going to go clip 10% of these. We're going to create a $3.8 trillion fund. Okay, and we're going to grab 10% of these assets back and share them amongst the people. Black, white, brown, male, female, young, and old. Regular, everyday people, not institutions. I've done, and Jared can tell you this, but I've done $5 billion worth of real estate. I have no institutional money. None. Zero. I have no sponsors. Okay? I've never done business with Goldman Sachs, Wall Street, none of those guys. I've done all this business. Everything I've done is with either myself, my family, people like Jared, or people like yourself, okay? Now, I can only do so much of that, and then I need to, what's his name?
John?
John.
Yes.
John.
Yeah.
Then John, I need to help. I have 15,000 units. I need to help you buy 15,000 units. Elizabeth gets 15,000 units. Mateo gets 15,000 units, and then I could come back and say, hey guys, let's put all this stuff together. Now we got 60,000 units. Okay? And then we take the 60,000 units and we go to Wall Street and say, look what I got. And they're like, oh shit, that ain't black or brown or white. Because they don't care now, bro. All they're seeing like, whoa, shit, you got something, bro. Because these whales, man, these big whale companies, they eat krill. They eat krill by the 100,000 tons of it at a time. And that's what we're going to do. I'm putting together a network for all of you like, why is this dude doing this on a Saturday? I'm doing it because I like to educate, I like to help. But the bigger play is this. We're going to build $1 trillion fund, and I'm going to go crack one of these big groups. Or, John, we become one of the groups.
All right. I like that.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
There's a glitch, folks. There's a glitch in the universe. There has to be a glitch. There's got to be a glitch. The matrix has got to break for you to see it, right? So like that's what we're doing. We're hacking a system that's broken. Okay, I'm going to go back to what I started with today. Why should you guys pay attention to this right now? Why am I doing this on whatever the
Saturday,
date is?
April 5th.
April 5th. Why? Okay. We are in the biggest correction in market history. Not only is the real estate market correcting right now, $6 trillion. Somebody grabbed $6 trillion off the table this weekend in 2 days. We have the greatest real estate correction in play. Okay? We have every institution is sidelined. SD. They're sidelined. They cannot operate. They cannot do deals. They cannot buy deals. They cannot purchase deals. The only thing they can do right now is clean deals up, which means sell deals. I'm going to show you guys. This is private. Okay? I had to remove the name and actually probably ought to remove the properties. Okay? But you guys, can you see this? I'm going to make it even bigger. This is an offer I made a group this weekend. Friday, for 2,165 units for $776 million. And they're considering it. Now, I might have to go another $30 million to buy the deal. This is a massive institution. Number 3 right here, they have to sell the assets. It's not whether they're going to sell or not, it's when are they going to sell it. They gave me basically what the NOI was of each of these assets. And I said, I'd be willing to offer you $750 million, and I probably have $26 million of room. And they came back to me and said, it's going to take $800 million for us to release the assets. And I said, $800 million, but ain't nobody buying it for $800 million, bro. And they said, we agree. So they now are sitting with my number. I said, the good news is I have the cash to buy this. Now, I do not have the cash to buy this today, but I know with complete confidence, and they have confidence in me as well, that I can get the cash to close tomorrow. Again, look, I'm doing this for you guys. Well, I got in this game when I was 30 years old. I slipped into the game. It was an accident. Some of the best things that have happened to me in my life have been accidents. Okay? I happened to be in LA one weekend and ran into my wife that would become my wife. Right? Had sex with her. It was an accident. We had a baby. Okay? Bang. One of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. Okay? With my kids.
After you were married.
Yeah, after I was married.
We had the baby after.
But it doesn't matter. You know, timings. So the first piece of real estate I ever bought, it was kind of like an accident. I had some extra money, $3,500. I'm like, it looks like a good deal to me. I could control a piece of real estate, $78,000. I can control $78,000 for $3,000. I'm like, shit, dude, this is not like brain surgery. That's the beauty about real estate. You don't have to study a bunch of graphs, but you need to learn something. Okay, I bought the piece of real estate. All I had to do was buy the piece of real estate and I could have collected rents. It's been 25 years now. 25 years at $200 times 12. I would have collected, wait a minute, $200 times 12 times 25. $200 times 12. If that's all I ever made, by the way, the rents are now $3,000. But let's say the rents never went up. 200 times 12 times 12 times what? 25 years?
Yeah, 2,400 times 2,400 times 25.
Damn, what's this thing doing, bro? 25, 200.
$60,000.
I would have made $60,000, okay? But the rents didn't stay 200. Okay, the rents, let me see, I was paying I would have made $1,500 a month times 12 times 25. That's $450,000. Okay, not even a big deal. But the piece of property today is worth 600 grand. Like, I would have made $1 million making one decision one time and never doing anything else. Boom, I went down the street 2 weeks later, bought another deal. Okay, I've done that over and over. I just slipped into it. And unfortunately, there's not a class in college, unless you're going to real estate school. There's not a class in high school. There's not a class in grade school. I don't know why the schools don't teach this. Everybody's going to end up owning real estate, or you're going to pay for it, one of the two. Instead, what people teach you how to do in this country is buy a house. Buy a place. No, man, buy the whole damn neighborhood. I was at a fireman party the other night. I was celebrating a charity event. Next person.
Yeah.
I was going to a charity event
next.
for the firemen in Los Angeles. There was 12 firemen sitting at a table. I'm walking to go to the restroom. They knew who I was. They're like, hey, Grant Cardone is in the house, man. Hey, Grant, should I buy or should I sell? I said, what you knuckle brains should do is you guys should put all your damn money together. You guys all make 200 grand a year. Y'all should put all your money together. And y'all should be buying the entire neighborhood, not just protecting it. Okay? Rather than sending your money to a pension fund and they invest it for you, the fireman's fund, and they invest the money for you, you guys ought to buy all the real estate in LA and then protect it with your damn fire hoses.
Ficus,
what's up?
Hey guys, bought in the program 20 days ago, and I can't. And the enthusiasm that I've got's crazy. I mean, I've gone buck wild with your program. Masterclass is phenomenal. But not to push that, dude. I jumped into it head first. I'm looking at 600 doors. I'm chasing as my first unit that I want. Property fell in love with. My problem is though, it's not on the market. Is this something I should be chasing to put on the market? And if so, how do I get in contact with a broker to start getting stuff like the T12s and the OMs? And
yeah,
I mean, how do I start that process?
Yeah, I don't like the idea that it's not on the market and you're chasing it.
The buyer has to have some motivation to sell, right? Like you're now, it's a sales job for you to get a hold of the owner of the property, which through our 10X Deal Finder, you can plug in the address, you can find out who the owner is, you can skip trace the record, find out all their contact information and reach out to them. But you're trying to force something that hasn't happened yet. Not to say that that's not possible, but it's just a lower probability of success than you going out and finding a deal that's listed or calling brokers and talking to them.
What you're looking for right now is you're looking for pressure on a date. Okay? You're looking for pressure on a date. Okay? Typically, you want a maturation on a loan or a partnership or a fund that has to dump. So I personally would not run against a guy without some urgency. So my question to the seller is going to be, hey, let me ask you, why would you be selling at this time? Well, I'm not really interested in selling, but you know, shit, if you blind and stupid and you pay too much, maybe I would. I'm not even talking to him. Next. There's so much of this problem stuff. I need a decision maker that has urgency to purchase. Otherwise, you won't get a compromise on price. Okay? For instance, if you guys go back to my spreadsheet, let me just show you how optimistic I am. I have $4.2 billion worth of deals right now. See that number right there? That's what I'm looking at right now. All these are deals. I'm not going to show you the names of all this real estate. Okay, but there's basically 20 lines here, 100 million, 195, 98, 73. That's how many deals I look at. For me to buy $1 billion worth of deals, I'm gonna look at $4.5 billion worth of real estate. So this is all I do. I source deals constantly. So what do you guys got to do? Okay, you need to source deals. Well, where do I find deals? We'll start telling you that in 4 weeks. I'm going to show you all the different sites I go to source deals. Okay? 2, how do you evaluate a deal? Okay? 3, what's your deal criteria? Like me telling that gentleman, hey man, bro, I'm not even talking to him. I will not waste 1 minute on any deal that I'm not interested in. So I know what my deal criteria is. Okay? Jared has his deal criteria. By the way, Jared's deal criteria is easier than mine. Jared is this: if Grant likes it, I'll buy it. Well, there's basically two things. If he has any money at the time, and if I like it. And he knows, I tell him, bro, this deal's stupid. Or, hey, hold off on this deal. I don't need you to come in to leave it alone. There's going to be better opportunities, right? So you got to have your deal criteria. For some of you, for instance, my sister-in-law shouldn't have done her first deal, but she didn't have any deal criteria. She was just like, I need to buy a piece of real estate. The first two deals I didn't have deal criteria. I had no gates around my criteria or expectation. Okay, so we got to clarify that. Okay, I'm going to show you all these, what these should be, by the way. Okay, every deal should make you $1 million. So you guys should not touch it. Do not touch it. Don't play with it. Don't entertain time. That means you have to be able to predict what it's going to be worth in the future. And every deal should pay you $24,000 a year in cash flow, minimum to you. You should get $2,000 a month, no less than $2,000 a month, to F with the deal. That's why I told the lady no to the Section 8, because I don't think she's going to accumulate enough Section 8 fast enough to actually pay her $2,000 a month. She could pick up $300, $500, $600. Oh, that's a lot of money. Not really. $600 is not a lot of money if you got to run 45 minutes to go get it. Okay? If you guys need to make $600, man, dude, you got to learn how to talk to people out in the streets. I can go get $600 just by borrowing money from people. Okay? Now, markets that you're looking for. This
Top
goes
10
back
markets. Here we go.
This goes back to the criteria. Or should we hold this?
No, we told them we'd give it to him. Let's give
Market criteria, okay? The markets I like. Gee, will you look at your deal and say if you should do it?
A deal, probably.
Yeah, sure, dude. That's what I do, bruh. By the way, if you guys ever get a deal too big for you, trust me, I'll buy it. But you need to know what my deal criteria is. Okay, what markets should you be in right now?
California? Correction?
You gotta be, look, I gotta pee right now. So I think we should hold the 10 markets.
We told them we were gonna give it to him.
I don't feel bad about it. Should I tell you guys the 10 markets? If I walked away right now, would you guys feel like I gave you enough value? If I walked away right now and didn't give you my 10 correction markets that I think we want the markets, other people said I could go and pee. Nope, I'm devastated.
Want the 10, give us the market.
Okay, I'll give you the 10, okay? Okay? Dallas, tremendous marketplace. Each one of these has different problems, okay? So I'm gonna give you the market, but I'm not gonna give you beware, okay? Austin, Texas. I would not buy San Antonio right now, right? Houston with three exceptions, and I'm not going to tell you what those are right now. Okay, Houston, but you have to be very, very careful in Houston. Northwest Atlanta. Savannah. I love Savannah, by the way. I think Savannah is going to be like explosion of opportunities there. Okay, Fort Lauderdale. Naples, St. Pete. I mean, I could give you more than 10 for sure, okay?
Carolinas.
New York City and New Jersey, but you have to be very selective about the locations. Chicago, there's some suburbs, and then there's also the, what is it called? The West Loop. All of Chicago is going to be good, by the way. You're looking at a 6 cap here, and you're probably looking at a 5 cap here and a 6 cap here. Maybe a 6. Maybe you get to a 6. Los Angeles, California could be a monster market because of the fires in the Palisades. I mean, I know people that are going to be renters there now you just made 18,000 people renters. I know people living in hotels paying $1,000 a night, $1,500 a night, $2,000 a night for the last 90 days, and it's being covered under insurance. Sooner or later, that unwinds. Did I say LA? San Diego. If San Diego cleans up its homeless problem, that freaking real estate is going to be like straight up and vertical. Can't build there. I could go on and on. I mean, I've already given you 10, right? Okay. Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, phenomenal. Clarksville, phenomenal.
Charlotte,
the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, of Alabama, phenomenal real estate. Charlotte, unbelievable. Raleigh, unbelievable. Anywhere there's tech moving in. Denver, Colorado, if you just Cherry Hill, Boulder, okay, you got a bunch of weird laws going in there, but once that shit passes, and it's going to pass, by the way, we're going to have a revolution in this country. It says, no, property owners, it's cool to be a property owner. Also, even in these liberal states where they let people kind of game the system, most people do not game the system. Most people pay their rent and they pay it on time. Okay, guys, we're going to take this down in 6 minutes. GrantCardone.com/now. I've been here 3 hours. I said 90 minutes. I apologize. GrantCardone.com/now. GrantCardone.com/now. I'm going to give you 2 days with me, 4 weeks of calls, 4 mentoring calls to answer questions. I'm going to give you a free call with one of our coaches. You can take advantage of that today or next week when you have time. I'm going to give you 4 different calls over the next 4 Wednesdays.
Group coaching calls. They're awesome.
2 days with me, 9 hours. We're going to take this, whatever this 180 minutes were, and turn it into 9 hours. I'm going to give you a credit at my store, plus I'm going to give you the 10X water bottle, the How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate.
The dictionary.
Where's the book? The dictionary. I'm going to give you a workbook when you join me next week. Yeah, if they just brought another one out, it'd be really nice, because this is what I get to do now. The workbook, this is what we'll cover next week, or 4 weeks from now. We'll cover this whole thing together, okay? That way you have all your notes written down there, okay? The coaching call, the masterclass, 16 hours. This, folks, I'm telling you, this is something you need to watch with your family. It's phenomenal. One of the greatest products I ever built. This will literally go down in the Hall of Fame of real estate education.
Adrian said he's watched it 5 times.
No, I could watch it again.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant, okay? Increased value calculator. This is a tool you use for life. What is the future value of this piece of real estate if the rents go up $55? Okay.
Underwriting calculator.
Also, the underwriting calculator, so you can justify your offer and never be wrong. Oh, that looks so good, dude. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mateo. Okay. I'm going to give you the strategy call, the coaching calls, and the 2 days with me. And if that's not enough, we're going to give you a $297 credit at the store. And if that's enough, and you just hate all this, okay, I'll give you your money back at the end of the live Real Estate Interactive. You don't have to travel. You don't have to go anyplace. There's no excuses. All you got to do is show up. I'll do the rest of the work, okay? Thank you for being here. We're going to keep this up another 7 minutes and 45 seconds, and then we're going to take it down. Okay. We won't send it to you again. We won't offer it to you again. We're never going to advertise it any place. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Look forward to helping you. Look forward to growing with you. Look forward to helping you. Look forward to growing with you. And I look forward to hearing about your next real estate deal. Thanks a lot.
Never losing no, but I'm broke, but now I'm living at it. They just count my zeros and some decimals. And I wish you would try to test me, yo. You should listen to the lesson, no. Masterminds out of Mexico, I invested dough when I let it grow. Benjamins, I got a pocket full. Breaks your income and your taxes low. Spend it right and then invest some more. And if you don't believe me, it's my Dr. Cardone. What you mean? You mean Uncle G? Planting seeds for these money trees. Who got my money, please? Everywhere you wanna be like Visa, MasterCard, American Express. I bought the bank and I bought the jet. I buy apartments, I send checks. Yo, billionaire went undercover, help y'all discover who did it.